are disappointed following a Pokemon Go event over the weekend in Chicago that was riddled with technical issues. Crowds of players expressed their displeasure after they were unable to log on to the mobile game. Developer Niantic apologizing to those who attended that event. Grand Park saying they would offer players a refund on their $20 tickets and gave them $100 in Pokemon cash. Chicagoans have another celebration to mark your calendars with in August. It marks the creation of a sport first taking place here in the city of Chicago. Roller Derby. World Roller Derby Week, August 13 through 19. The roller derby as we know it today was invented by Leo Seltzer, who produced the first roller derby at the Chicago Coliseum in 1935. The massive derby lured out 50,000 fans to Comiskey Park in the early 70s. Celebration organizers say there are actually about 2,000 adult roller derby leagues actively playing around the world. Wilson Contreras, Kyle Schwarber both left yard. Cubs put down the Cardinals 5-3. Royals sweep out the White Sox 5-4. Cubs and Sox open up a 4-game home-and-home series at Wrigley Field today. Jordan Spieth wins the Open. Casey Kane, the checkered flag at the Brickyard 400. And your Tour de France winner is Chris Froome. The news, a service of American Sale. Get up to 60% off patio collections during the clearance event at American Sale. Choose from hundreds of patio sets on display and get free delivery too. See store for details. The patio set clearance event going on now at American Sale. Bring the fun home. A check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I've been on vitamins, I've been on all kinds of supplements, but nothing has come close to your product. The difference between before I started the product and afterwards is like night and day. I do have more energy, and that was what I really was after. I get all these benefits. It's wonderful. I had no energy at all, and I thought, how can I live this way? I do one little chore, and then I have to sit and rest. And I find that I get through the day pretty well, and I really have more energy. I look in the mirror and I say, I think I feel more alive. I think I look more alive.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you free. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
Did you know that if you have mutual funds in your IRA, 401k, or investment accounts, that according to Forbes magazine, you could be paying as much as 3.17% in hidden fees every single year? 3.17% may not sound like much, but over 10 years, it's costing you 32%, whether your fund is up or down. Hi, it's Tom Fortino of the Alpha Wealth Group in Chicago and host of the Alpha Wealth Hour on AM 560. This is just one of the reasons I hate mutual funds, and you should too. You may not know this, but you have far more investment options today without the excessive fees. Learn what they are in my free report, The Truth Behind Mutual Funds. What you learn may shock you. To get your free report, The Truth Behind Mutual Funds, call 630-519-4742. There's no obligation. That's 630-519-4742.
Investment advisory services. Offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, Inc.
5:09, time to check the climate of your business with AirComfort.com, providing the right climate for business since 1935. And time to check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Good morning, Mike. Welcome back. And we have many flood-related closures still in place. You mentioned the high water throughout many suburbs, including River Forest and Maywood, where Chicago Avenue is closed. In Thatcher and First Avenue, still closures in Des Plaines of Central Road and Gulf Road at River Road. In River Grove, River Road is blocked between First Avenue and Belmont, along with Grand Avenue between Thatcher and 25th. In McHenry, River Road is closed. Fernview and McHenry Dam. And there's Nipper Sink and Round Lake still flooded in Fairfield and Wilson, along with Rawson Bridge in Port Barrington and Duncan Avenue in Elgin. Downtown Chicago, which I believe a couple of streets are already closed for Lollapalooza setup. Balboa and southbound Columbus near Balboa. Those closures are scheduled till August 10th. Traffic is a service of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. National Minority Donor Awareness Week is August 1st through 7th. Did you know that most people waiting for life-saving transplants in the U.S. are minorities? Learn more. Get the facts about organ, eye, and tissue donation. Go to organdonor.gov. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center with our meteorologist, Brian May.
Not as warm today. Lower humidity, some sunshine, and a high of 76. A few clouds tonight, low 63. Pleasant tomorrow with low humidity, high 80. Wednesday, some sun, high 83. I'm Brian May on AM 560. The Answer.
Currently 68 at O'Hare, 68 along the lakefront, 65 this morning in Aurora with a Wilmette water temp of 72. Your next news update is at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs powered by Tandem HR. Heard Sunday evenings at 6.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, who is back from Haiti to tell us how Skal Labissiere did in her basketball clinic.
Skal Labissiere did really well. He had a good showing.
He plays for the Kings.
Yeah, I know. He does, and he is a hero in Haiti, and you know why he's so loved? Well, after the earthquake...
Is he more loved than Olden Polynice?
Yeah.
Did you ask that question?
Yeah, of course I did.
Okay, good.
But he's, after the earthquake, he was actually buried in the rubble after the earthquake, and people saved him, and he went back for the first time to Haiti since the earthquake to meet the people who saved him.
That's cool.
And then after that, that's when he decided, he was going to go back for this basketball camp, but it was sold out. It was, and he had security guards around him everywhere. He was just a really sweet guy because everybody wanted a piece of him because he's their hero. There's not a lot of basketball or space, I should say, to play basketball in Haiti.
And he kind of stands out because he's about 7 feet tall.
He's 7'2", yeah.
And so,
but his parents are lovely, and he was, if you can watch the video, he's not on Twitter, but if you hashtag Skal, you can see the video when he meets the people for the first time who saved his life. And it's really touching, and everything about Haiti was very emotional.
Well, just the context again, you weren't there actually to teach Skal how to play basketball.
No, or to be a teacher in his camp.
Right.
But I did show him my box out move, and he was pressing them. My through the legs and then fake shot.
I'm sure it was nice of him to humor you like that. So you were there with Food for the Poor.
Yes.
And so tell us a little bit about Port-au-Prince in July in 2017.
Oh, it's not hot at all. I mean, there's hot and then there's Haiti hot. But no, we went to a number of orphanages. We went to the headquarters of Food for the Poor, where they feed people every day. They feed 15,000 people every day. It's a well-run organization. But, when people are desperate for food.
Well, and for those just who don't recall, this is the organization that so many of our listeners contributed to last Christmas during our Christmas drive, where we did with Food for the Poor to feed children in Haiti, the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, obviously one of the poorest countries in the world.
And it sure is. And you really don't understand the level of poverty until you are in it. And Food for the Poor, they have this great headquarters, where they need security guards because people are desperate for food, and they will kill for food or push people down to try and get food. So they maintain order there. They also, besides handing out food every day, and it's rice and a bean mixture that they put into buckets, and we actually help do that for a few hours, help feed the people. And then they also have a clinic for malnourished babies, and that is where it really hits you hard when you see all these babies. I mean, basically, they're skin and bones, and they need help, and they give them this Hope Gel. That's what they call it. It's a peanut butter mix with vital nutrients in it. And then doctors see them, and there's so many American doctors that spend their vacation instead of going to all-inclusives or going to Europe. They go to Haiti to help perform surgeries and to help kids in need.
Is this Doctors Without Borders?
Yeah, they're
as
there,
well as,
there as well.
Yeah.
So the government should be taking care of the Haitians, but the government doesn't. It is Food for the Poor, who really, if they weren't there, there'd be thousands of people dead because they are the government. I mean, they help people in need. 75% unemployment rate in Haiti. So the tax base, I mean, there's no infrastructure. There's no garbage pickup. There's garbage everywhere. And they burn the garbage. So as soon as you get off the plane, your eyes burn and it's hard to breathe.
Well,
because people are burning tires, people are burning their garbage. And I mean, it comes in waves, but sometimes it hits you pretty hard.
the ravages of generations of dictatorships, the Duvaliers in particular. But I mean, it's the amazing thing about that country is on the other side of it is the Dominican Republic. And it's not to say that the DR doesn't have their problems and their poverty in Santo Domingo and elsewhere, but it's just there's something very different going on in DR than there is in Haiti.
It's two different worlds completely. And then you think you're an island over from Puerto Rico. I mean, it is just a completely different world. No Haitians speak Spanish, not because they can't stand the Dominicans. The Dominicans, the president there recently deported 60,000 Haitians back to Haiti and tore families apart.
That's better than some of the history of the Dominican Republic. When the Dominican Republic was under a military dictatorship, Trujillo, they didn't deport.
Genocide?
They didn't deport them.
No.
They
slaughtered them. They killed them.
Yeah.
So they do not. If you try to speak Spanish, which my second language is Spanish, so that's my go-to. They don't understand Spanish. They speak French and Creole. So I picked up a little Creole. So then from there we went to villages that were remote. One was by the Dominican. It was 20 minutes away from the Dominican Republic, and it was unbelievable. They've never seen white people before. They don't have mirrors. They don't even know what they look like. So we would take, our iPhones or our iPads and take video of them and then show them the video. And they were so cute, their faces. And they'd zoom in and out, And it was, but we went to a village two different villages that Food for the Poor is going to help because there's no clean water. There's one canal in these little villages and they bathe in them. They drink from them. They wash their clothes in them. Yeah. But animals relieve themselves in these canals as well. So it is really, again, it was just $50 to feed one kid for a year and provide water for life because they set up this great well water system that is amazing. And it's a purification system so that they can drink the water separately from bathing in the water. And the people though in Haiti, they're so appreciative and so loving. But it is shocking when you go to these remote villages and they've never seen white people. And they've never seen blondes and they've never seen tall blonde people. So it was, we had 4 security guards with us at all times. And it was, so we felt safe. But then from there, we went to the orphanages and that's a whole different story because then they just want hugs and they jump on you and love you and hug you. And it's just the most amazing thing in the world. And then, I brought, of course, soccer balls, volleyballs, played football for a while and really started to bond with the people of Haiti. They're beautiful people. They really are. And despite the fact that
did you give them Wilson, your personal friend and volleyball?
I did. I mean, I gave him my shoes. I gave him whatever, the shirt off my back just to.
Well, this is a reminder. It's kind of a paraphrasing Michael Bolin, Monsignor Michael Bolin, who runs Catholic Charities here. We don't help people because they're Catholic. We help people because we're Catholic. It's the same thing. Food for the Poor and all of our listeners who supported Food for the Poor and what this station does and what the Salem Radio Network does is to support and to help people in need, in dire need, in life and death need, as you just described.
And
not
we're
because they're Christian, but because we're Christian.
And we're going to be having, we're teaming up with them again this December or late this November. And I'm going to release some videos and, just go in depth into these villages we're talking about. You'll meet some of the kids that I met.
Cool.
One was a 6-year-old boy, or he's 6 years old now, but he was 6 days old when he was dropped off because his mom died. And guess how he sleeps at night? With kittens. So they have two kittens.
So
that
you two have a lot in common.
I know. I found my cat friend. This is great. We bond together because of that.
So,
but it's really a great organization. And if you want to donate now, it's foodforthepoor.org. I mean, there's several ways that they're always accepting donations. And the executive director of Food for the Poor, a bishop. He's Episcopalian. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we broke bread together. We discussed.
Brother.
Stop it. No, he knew who my pastor was too.
There's an exception to every rule. Just one other question. How much was the Clinton Foundation on the lips of the residents because of all the good works that they do?
Yeah, that was Sean Penn. They said, there's people that have donated and helped out Sean Penn and the Clintons. The Clintons, they do appreciate Bill Clinton down there because he brought attention to the island and raised money that actually stayed there. Mm-hmm. So that was good.
Well, it stayed there to pay the idiot family members of Hillary and Bill.
Yeah,
right?
I asked about that too, and about the cell phone company Digital, and not everybody had a cell phone. That I was told that the poorest of the poor, they'll still have a cell phone. That's not true. That they don't have electricity. In the country they only have electricity on between 4 to 6 hours a day, and then you have to buy your own generator if you want electricity at night. So you can't really charge a cell phone. Okay, there's no outlets.
Everybody can cobble together a little to pay the Clinton Foundation.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
And don't forget, the whole time I kept thinking too, the Clintons honeymooned here. That's where they went on their honeymoon, to Haiti.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Oh, and I'll tell you about T-shirts later. What this one?
Bill might have got a loan on that honeymoon.
Forecast for today: partly sunny skies, not as warm. We're going to have a lot less humidity than we have around here in Haiti. That's nice. A high of 77 degrees. And then tomorrow, partly sunny and pleasant. A high of 82 degrees. No rain in the forecast until Thursday. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Our band is back together. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Good morning, Amy. Welcome back. Good morning, Dan. The Edens is clear right now. The Kennedy delay-free. No problems yet on 190 as traffic builds around O'Hare. The Eisenhower still good, too. Mount Stevenson, little heavy. Cicero to Pulaski, about a 1-minute delay. The Ryan has a 1-minute delay. Roosevelt into downtown. I-57, 17 minutes. I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 16. Some brief slowdowns. Tollways are good. Northwest Indiana, 2. Any flood-related closures remain in place in Des Plaines, River Forest, River Grove, and in points farther north, still the closure of Nippersink and Round Lake, Rawson Bridge, and Fort Barrington. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, how would you like to have insurance for your computer network? Something to protect your hardware and software, and more importantly, give you peace of mind. Well, using Turnkey IT for installation and support of your systems is like having insurance for your computer. Why? Well, one affordable monthly payment gives you a full team of certified technicians who work for you in the background. They make house calls or come to your workplace if necessary, but they don't wait until there's an emergency because they work hard to take preventative measures to keep your network secure. Turnkey IT really is the best. So you can protect your network with the Turnkey experience. That is Office 365 hosting, advanced network protection, cloud backup, disaster recovery, unlimited remote and on-site support. So find out what Turnkey IT can do for your company today. It's easy. Visit turnkey.pro. That's turnkey.pro.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. Every day people ask me, Jay, did I miss out? Have the rates gone up? The answer is no. Rates are still low, and it's a perfect time to refinance your home, especially if your mortgage rate is higher than 4.25%. If you'd like to lower your interest rate and save thousands of dollars in interest without starting over on a new 30-year loan, a Quicken Loans Yorgage is what you're looking for. With our exclusive Yorgage, you can choose a term that works best for you, anywhere from 8 to 30 years. The rate today on an 8-year Yorgage is 3.25%, APR 3.75%. For 7 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation for customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 3rd year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
As the head of procurement for my company, I was sweating a big deadline and got tired of calling my printer for updates, only to hear excuses. So I heard about McGrath Printing Custom Apparel and gave them a call. I got A+ service, and they beat the deadline. McGrath Printing really saved my.
I'm a supply chain manager for a Fortune 500 company, and we had $50,000 of product waiting for instruction manuals because our printer couldn't deliver on time. One call to McGrath Printing Custom Apparel, and they saved my.
At McGrath Printing Custom Apparel, they've been saving companies for over 35 years. Give them a call at 815-356-5246. That's 815-356-5246. And mention code AM560 and get 20% off your first order. So remember,
go to where the pros go. McGrathPrint.com. McGrathPrint.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
The hypocrites scatter when I shine the bright light of reason. I'm Larry Elder. Join me tonight at 7, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Well, on Friday, the big news, Sean Spicer resigning as White House press secretary. And
it was big news in Haiti. Everybody on the bus was talking about it because we still had internet access sporadically, and it hit.
The Haitians or the visitors?
Oh, no, the visitors.
Yeah.
The Haitians could care less. They didn't know who that was.
Bigger problems.
Don't have television.
Although, I mean, I think we should at least recall a little bit of Spicer. Some of his greatest hits. The Wall Street Journal put them together.
Oh, good.
But it's still upside down.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. This was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period, both in person and around the globe.
I understand your point.
It is
The
extreme
president
vetting.
himself called it bad.
I understand.
Is he confused or are you confused?
No, I'm not confused. I think that the words that are being used to describe it are derived from what the media is calling this. He's been very clear
Travel
that it is
ban.
Extreme vetting. He's believed this for a long time, and I think he won fairly overwhelmingly, so he's not. And look, we'll work.
I'm asking you, why not investigate something
Well,
that is
maybe we will.
the biggest scandal in American electoral history? 3 to 5 million people voting illegally?
I think we'll see where we go from here, but right now the focus that the president has is on putting Americans back to work.
In the past, the president has referred to particular job reports as phony or totally fiction. Does the president believe that this jobs report was accurate and a fair way to measure the economy?
Yeah, I talked to the president prior to this, and he said, to quote him very clearly, they may have been phony in the past, but it's very real now. Someone as despicable as Hitler, who didn't even sink to using chemical weapons. Right. I should have stayed focused on the Assad regime and the dangers that they have brought to their own people and the terrible atrocities they did, and to drag any other comparison into this was not appropriate.
Do you think people should be concerned that the president posted somewhat of an incoherent tweet last night and that it then stayed up for hours?
No.
Why did it stay up so long? Is no one watching this?
No, I think the president and a small group of people know exactly what he meant.
Oh, yeah, and then that started the whole, what does Kofifi mean?
Yeah, it's tough. Spicer, a very tough position, a tough guy to message for, clearly. He went on Sean Hannity to explain his resignation, and he's a professional. I mean, Sean Spicer was at the Salem Managers and Meetings meeting a couple of years ago that I was at. He was part of a panel discussion, and he is a professional. And he appropriately went out in a classy way, passing the baton to Sarah Huckabee Sanders and the mooch, Anthony Scaramucci.
Well, it's been an honor and a privilege to serve this president in this country. I will never be able to thank the president enough for what he has been able to allow me to do. And I had a great opportunity to have some tremendous folks on a team here that worked tirelessly to promote the president's agenda. I'm leaving it in capable hands with both Anthony and Sarah Sanders, who has been just a tremendous partner and will continue to do the president in this country a great job.
Yeah, that sounds very professional and great. That's the man that a lot of us know him to be. But, of course, CNN was saying, he found out that Scaramucci was hired, ran to the White House, demanded a meeting with President Trump, and then said, if he stays, then I'm going to leave, and then submitted his resignation. They made it sound so dramatic.
Well, the internal dynamics are what they are. Obviously, he disagreed with the decision, as did others, as frankly do I. But
you don't like mooch.
We'll get to mooch. But there's going out in a professional way, respectful of the office and respectful of those who come after you for the greater purpose of the administration. It's something that some of Bruce Rauner's outgoing staff could learn something from. But in addition to that,
let's dig into deeper on that.
people know they've been paying attention to the transition. But in addition to that, he did have a outgoing shot to some of the D.C. press corps that I thought was on point, and it bears hearing.
I think most people aren't really privy to how stories are developed and what stories are make it to the front page or to the mainstream media, whether it's in print or in broadcast. And I think they'd be shocked and disappointed to see some of the bias that exists in some of the stories that don't get told or the manner in which they are told. I was increasingly disappointed in how so many of the members here of the media do their job, or rather don't do their job, the bias to which they come from it at. And as I mentioned a while ago, I think that there's become a very clickbait mentality among a lot of reporters where they're more interested in their clip or their click than they are about the truth and the facts.
And he also went on to talk about how they're more interested in getting a confrontation with me with their one question in the White House briefing so they can, be on TV and become a cable news channel sensation and reality TV star effectively and so forth. And I think he made a good point in addition to appropriately managing the transition on message, even if sometimes his former boss struggles with that same chore. All right, coming up at 5:38, we'll get to the mooch.
Mooch. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Welcome back. Now the band is completely all back together. Here is the one and only Mike Scott.
Well,
Hi, Mike.
Thank you. Good morning and welcome as well. 68 and cloudy in the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom, home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. Federal prosecutors later today will charge a 60-year-old man with the weekend tragedy, in which 9 were found dead in a sweltering tractor trailer in San Antonio, Texas.
We're very fortunate that there weren't 38 of these people that were all locked inside that vehicle dead, but again, very sad incident that our police and fire departments have responded on.
San Antonio Fire Chief Charles Hood, nearly 20 others in that rig are in dire condition. U.S. Attorney says those responsible for the deaths are human smugglers. The Taliban claiming responsibility for a horrific attack in the Afghan capital this morning that killed 24 and wounded 42. President Trump set to deliver a statement on health care today. In a tweet, writing, if Republicans do not repeal and replace Obamacare, the repercussions will be greater than any of them understand. White House reaching out this morning to world leaders to help quiet the crisis in Jerusalem. A senior Trump administration official says presidential advisors are leading the effort to work with the Israelis, the Palestinians, and the Jordanians. Rand Paul says it will be a huge mistake to repeal Obamacare without replacing that legislation. Paul on CNN's State of the Union.
The problem is Republicans can't seem to agree on what replacement means. To me, replacement is legalizing inexpensive insurance, which means the federal government doesn't regulate it.
Appearing on CNN, the Kentucky Republican says he's mostly not in favor of giving money to the healthcare industry and is not in favor of the current formation of the health insurance reform bill. Relief could be around the corner this morning for flooded areas of the northern suburbs. National Weather Service tells us the Des Plaines and Fox rivers are expected to crest, then recede this week. No one in custody following a shooting on Chicago's south side that killed 1 man and wounded 3 others. Time running out this morning for Illinois senators to avoid another special session. Governor Rauner announcing if the Senate doesn't send him a repackaged school funding plan by noon today, he'll call them back into special session. Cubs over the Cardinals 5-3. Royals sweep out the White Sox with a 5-4 win. Cubs and Sox open a 4-game home-and-home set at Wrigley today. The news, a service of Geico Chicago. Geico now has even more ways to save your money. Your local Geico agent in Chicago ready to deliver the personal service you need with savings you love. 773-582-AUTO. 773-582-AUTO for your local Geico agent. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
Message and data rates may apply.
Does forgetting your password make your blood boil? If technology is supposed to make life easier, then why is it so difficult to log into apps and websites? We're about to simplify your life now. by giving you free access to Dashlane, the award-winning app that remembers and protects all of your passwords, making it easy to securely access all of your accounts. Get Dashlane free for life on your favorite device right now by texting PASS to 543-543. Dashlane makes life online blissfully simple, safe, and secure. Trusted by over 7 million users and 6,000 companies. Top-rated in functionality, security, and ease of use. Honored with over 70,000 five-star ratings. Dashlane, where passwords are never lost, never forgotten, and always secure. Unlock free access to Dashlane for life on your favorite device right now by texting PASS to 543-543. After texting, please enjoy a sigh of relief. That's PASS to 543-543.
Most of us like to be out in the sun. That's why sunscreen and other safety measures are key to protecting your skin from aging and cancer. The FDA recommends using a sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher. Also, look for broad spectrum on the label. That means both harmful ultraviolet A and B rays are blocked. Remember, SPF plus broad spectrum equal healthy fun in the sun. Visit www.fda.gov/sunscreen for more information. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Do you crave work that matters? 20 years ago, Bob Buford's book, Halftime, took business leaders from success to significance in their work. That book started a movement and the Halftime Institute. Now, from Institute CEO Dean Nawalny comes the next new powerhouse book, Trade Up. Building on Bob's legacy, Trade Up shows marketplace leaders how to not just make money, but make a difference. If the word smoldering discontent describe you, then trade up. Go to halftime.org. That's halftime.org.
5:36, a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. The Edens is clear right now. The Kennedy outbound getting a little heavy approaching 190, and we're seeing delays on westbound 190 from the Kennedy to the Tri-State. You get about 23 minutes right now from downtown to O'Hare, inbound fine at 20. Inbound Eisenhower, got a 2-minute delay from 25th Avenue to 1st Avenue. It's fine outbound. Inbound Stevenson delays start around Cicero. 37 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 34. Inbound Ryan, 19 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 20 minutes, Society to the Merge, Vision 423. Tollways are good, Northwest Indiana as well. Traffic, service of NTB. Get your 5-quart conventional oil change today, just $19.99 plus $3 disposal fee. For tires, oil, service, and repairs, National Tire and Battery, that's all you need. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center. Partly sunny, not as warm. Lower humidities today, high 77. Partly cloudy and 61 overnight, currently 68. Your next news update is at 6. Continuous news coverage at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by HealthQuest Radio with Dr. David Kolbaba. HealthQuest Radio is heard Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock here on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues now. And make sure to stay tuned to catch me, Mike Gallagher, coming up at 9, only on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line, based on what you know or what you're about to learn and what you saw perhaps on the Sunday talkies from Anthony Scaramucci, a.k.a. the Mooch, not to be confused with the Gooch who terrorized Arnold Drummond, poor little Arnold Drummond in different strokes.
Oh, that's right. This is the Mooch. I like Scaramucci. Hey,
there it is.
Anthony,
there it
hey.
is. Yeah, there it is.
I got a guy. Hey, bada bing, bada boom, I'm here. No, he was great. Did you watch his press conference on Friday? It was the awkward high or whatever that exchange was between Huckabee Sanders, and then he got up at the podium and, he had a lot of love for the president. Hey!
That's exactly how he sounds, because he's a cartoon.
No, he's a good-looking Italian man.
Oh.
Well, I just so you
Good
know,
looking.
he's not Swedish. He's Italian.
Yeah. Well,
he's very good-looking, I think.
All right.
What? He's hot.
Keep it together over there.
Just saying.
He's,
What? I'm calling like I see it. He's a very good-looking man. But can he do his job is the question. 312-642-5600 is the number.
Do you think it was time for a transition on the comm team? Here's I want to give a little bit of background on Scaramucci, but let's get right to what he had to say over the weekend in terms of his priorities. Scaramucci on with Chris Wallace on the three things that he is coming to town to do per the president's decision to make him comm director. Now, again, technically he's replacing Mick Dubke, who left a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders is the press secretary, so she'll be doing the briefing. She'll essentially be the face person. But I have a feeling that
really?
Scaramucci is going to be doing a lot more FaceTime, having a lot more FaceTime than did Dubke, because Scaramucci seems to me like a fairly aggressive self-promoter. But here's what he said on the Sunday talk shows about the three things you can count on with Anthony Scaramucci as your comm director.
One of the first things I want to do is just message to people, we got to get the leaks stopped, Chris. I know that it's Washington, so it's going to be impossible to stop all of them. But I think what's going on right now is a high level of unprofessionalism, and it's not serving the president. So my three simple things is I would like to reset the culture inside the comms department so that people recognize that I'm actually there to serve them, and they're going to be working with me, not for me. That's a very big distinction. And that all of us are there to serve the President of the United States and his agenda. And so first thing for me is I want to hit a cultural reset button. Second thing is we got to get the leaks stopped. If we don't get the leaks stopped, I am a business person, and so I will take dramatic action to stop those leaks. And then the third thing is I'll be traveling with the President this week, and we're going to focus and refine the messaging from the White House. He's one of the most effective communicators that's ever been born. And we're going to make sure that we get that message out directly to the American people. And I think that arbitrage spread, the gap between how certain people think of him and how I see him, or say like someone like Ivanka sees him, that will start to narrow, sir.
Yeah, I mean,
Ivanka, that's his dad, her dad.
Well, right, but the to his point, although he is given to, I would suggest, Trumpian hyperbole, one of the most effective communicators who's ever been born.
Okay. I call him the biggest brown nose ever, because even during his first press conference, he said, "I love the president. I love this. I love being here. I love. About 12 times. He loves. There's a lot of admiration and love.
That wasn't always the case. Now, he apologized for this, but just 2 years ago, he called Trump a hack politician and denounced his rhetoric toward women. He did apologize, saying he should have never said that, but that's what he did say at the time. So Scaramucci, just a little backstory, Skybridge Capital, hedge fund guy, Harvard Law. I mean, he's a smart guy, clearly. He made a bunch of money when he sold his stake in Skybridge. I think it was earlier this year, actually. And no comms experience per se, but he did have a show on Fox Business. He has contributed a lot. And so it's just going to be very interesting, his approach. Just to put a point of emphasis on it, though, and this is where Chris Wallace took the conversation, his emphasis on leaks. The president is very unhappy with the leaks, and I'm going to do what it takes to plug as many leaks as I can, and even if that includes rolling some heads.
If the leaks don't stop, I'm going to pare down the staff because it's just not right, Chris. I think it's not fair to the president. It's actually not fair to America or the people in the government. I'm not going to be able to stop the leaks or in the intergovernmental agencies and all that other stuff. That's a whole different ball of wax. But something's going on inside the White House that the president does not like, and we're going to fix it.
So do you think this is a good idea, a good hire, or... how are you feeling right now? Are you still processing it?
Here's my feeling on it, and my feeling on it is this: I think Scaramucci. I don't know a lot about him other than his professional background. I think that he is going to take the posture of letting Trump be Trump, which is a danger. Whereas I think Priebus and Spicer, more conventional, try to round Trump out a little bit, try and rein him in at sometimes, so as to kind of keep things on message, which is traditionally what you do, rather than kind of the scattershot tweeting that Trump is wont to do. And so if Scaramucci is just going to be a facilitator for what I would suggest are some of Trump's worst instincts, most unproductive communications, then I don't think it's a great choice. If he on the other hand, is going to be enough like Trump and have enough respect of Trump that he can do that job in a way that Spicer and to some extent Priebus, and who knows how many days left he has in the administration, have not been able to do on a number of fronts, then that's a good thing. So I don't know. The personality seems similar to me, which is why I'm concerned. But maybe that's a way for Scaramucci to have the standing in Trump's mind to listen to him when Scaramucci says, this is, a bridge too far, Mr. President.
But that's the thing. I don't think Scaramucci has the you-know-what to confront President Trump. I think he's a yes guy. And that he's not,
I don't know.
Because sometimes when you surround yourself with friends, it doesn't really work out that well. And also, too, he sounds like he's going to be catering to the media a little bit more. Jake Tapper on CNN asked him, hey, can we have cameras back, at the White House press briefings instead of just audio?
Let's soften up our relationship with the press. They're tough on us, but let's be tough on them. I have no problem with that. And my job, as I see it, Jake, is that these people work with me, and I'm there to serve them. If you think about the American military, the leaders eat last. If you think about the American military, the leader's job is to serve the people that are working alongside of them. And so for Sarah Huckabee, I want to do everything I can to make her better at that podium. I think she's phenomenal there now. But like every athlete that's training for the Olympics, every day we got to make ourselves incrementally better. The only thing I asked Sarah, if you're watching, I love the hair and makeup person that we had on Friday. So I'd like to continue to use the hair and makeup person.
Yeah. Just stop trying to be clever. Don't be clever. Just don't be clever. This is not the moment for glib, honestly.
I know. I came out of the blue. Like, did he just talk about hair and makeup?
Well, he's trying to be cute.
I know.
Stop.
He's trying to be likable.
And here's the thing about Scaramucci, much like so many on Wall Street, his Goldman Sachs background, politically promiscuous. He was a bundler for Obama in 2008.
Yeah, they went to law school together.
Wrote a check for $28.5.
Ooh.
Also donated to Hillary Clinton's 2008 primary campaign before switching to Romney in 12 and Trump in 16. So the Wall Street piece of this, the kind of political agnosticism that you get from so many people that come out of the Goldman Sachses of the world, I think is a little bit of a concern, too, in terms of messaging policy, to the extent that policy is being driven from inside the Oval Office and not from Congress or from the policy team. It's kind of what sells rather than the agenda that you advertised as a candidate. It's just a little concerned because, the whole kind of thing, the idea in these sorts of situations that the policy team is always driving this and the comms team is just synthesizing it for public consumption. That's when it's an administration at any executive level is at its best. That doesn't necessarily mean that's where this administration is. And frankly, a lot of other administrations that message politics and whatever selling becomes the policy agenda. The sequencing of policy and marketing is really important. And I just don't know where Scaramucci is on this. I do know that Scaramucci made his bones, and this is another Scaramucci. This is classic Scaramucci. He's clearly a schmoozer, so the evidence is piling up even from his Sunday talkie performances. But also 2010 at a CNBC town hall.
Oh, yeah. I watched this yesterday. With the exchange between him and Obama.
Right.
He's a Wall Street man, and why are you targeting us?
He had a question for his Harvard Law School classmate, or two, actually.
Anthony Scaramucci, who is familiar to some viewers of our network because he appears on CNBC as a hedge fund manager.
And I also went to law school with you with Brian Mathis.
It's great to see you.
Back in the day.
You've done very well. Congratulations. That's great.
And if I fouled you on the hoop court, it wasn't intentional.
I remember that.
You would remember if I fouled you. I got a low center of gravity.
Ask your question.
The question I have, sir, and this is something I really, a lot of my friends are thinking about. Listen, I represent the Wall Street community. We have felt like a piñata. Maybe you don't feel like you're whacking us with a stick, but we certainly feel like we've been whacked with a stick. So I certainly think that Main Street and Wall Street are connected. And if we're going to heal the society and make the economy better, how are we going to work towards that healing Wall Street and Main Street? Question number one. And then question number two has to do with job growth. I was doing a calculation. I run Skybridge Capital. It's got $7.4 billion under management. And I'm thinking about hiring new people. A $50,000 worker in New York City, if I want to pay the full freight on the health care, plus the FICA and all the other stuff, it's about $90,000, sir. That woman, man or woman, is going to take home about $35,000. It seems very, very disconnected, and I think that's one of the main reasons why we don't have a lot of job growth. So, two questions. When are we going to stop wagging at the Wall Street piñata? And how are we going to fix that arbitrage so that we can create jobs in our society?
Right. Well, on the first issue.
And I promise not to foul you if we play hoops again.
Oh, God, stop. His point about jobs is a good one.
Yeah.
His flacking for Wall Street is a little bit more concerning because, frankly, there's too many Goldman Sachs guys in government from both parties in both all administrations going back decades now, and those are big government rent-seeking guys as a general rule. Think about John Corzine.
Yeah.
Think about so many examples of that. So Scaramucci scares me a little bit.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Yes, indeed. Summertime. Another hot one. Wait, gonna be a little bit cooler today. Back to hot. Gonna be windy. Maybe a thunderstorm mixed in for good measure. Up and down and up and down. The climate is always changing. Your company's heating and cooling system really gets a workout in Chicagoland. Be ready for anything this summer. Call Air Comfort and get your business's cooling system tuned up and running at peak performance. You see, the Air Comfort problem solvers can find small problems before they become big problems. Plus, proper maintenance will keep your system from wasting energy and money. Air Comfort will make sure your equipment is clean and obstacle-free. And if your chiller is about to or has stopped working, they can install temporary solutions to keep you cool while the long-term fixes are put in place. The key to keep your climate from changing is preventative maintenance, and Air Comfort can help. Schedule a comprehensive assessment of your mechanical system today. Call 708-345-1900 or visit aircomfort.com. Air Comfort, providing the right climate for business since 1935.
Oh, I brought it with me to Haiti. That's my pillow, the Go Anywhere My Pillow, the travel pillow, and use it on the plane and, of course, in the hotel. Because Mike Lindell, the owner, the manufacturer, the creator of the best pillow on earth, gave me a suggestion. He said, if you travel, take your My Pillow travel pillow, put it on top of your pillow at your hotel, and you will sleep great. And he was right. And I know that you have been bombarded with My Pillow ads everywhere you turn, not only from me, but on TV, billboards, and in print. But the reason is still simple. It is the best pillow available, and you really deserve a restful and relaxing summer and life. And the July radio deal using my name, Amy, in the promo code is the best deal available. It's the 50% discount on the My Pillow 4-pack, which is 2 premium My Pillows and those 2 Go Anywhere My Pillows I was just telling you about, all for half price. Here's what you do. Go to mypillow.com, type Amy in the promo code to get that discount, or simply call 800-489-0201, promo code Amy. That's 800-489-0201.
Message and data rates may apply.
Attention, it is illegal to text and drive. So if you're experiencing hair loss and you want a permanent solution, please pull over now, because an incredible offer that could give you your hair back is just one text away. Bosley is the world's most experienced hair restoration expert, always pioneering the latest technology. And now, we're giving everyone who texts the word GROW to 543-543 an absolutely free information kit that reveals just how easy and affordable this permanent solution really is. Don't wait. When you text GROW to 543-543, we'll also give you a gift certificate for $250 off. Millions of men and women have come to Bosley for a permanent solution to hair loss. So pull over now and see for yourself how great your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit. Text GROW to 543-543. Plus, get a free gift certificate. This amazing offer is just one text away. GROW to 543-543.
Hi, this is Jeff from Basement Flood Protector. We have the pleasure of protecting over 25,000 of your homes with our innovative and proven line of protection solutions. Our customers enjoy peace of mind knowing their homes are safe regardless of weather conditions. They enjoy peace of mind knowing our solutions provide the early warning mechanisms required to fend off problems in advance. And they enjoy peace of mind knowing when called upon, our solutions will come to the forefront and operate as expected. Have you ever received an email or phone call from your sump pump warning you of an error or potential problem? Our customers have. Like us, our customers believe technology does not have to end at the top of the basement stairs, and they rely on our technology to protect their personal belongings that they care so deeply about. We are Basement Flood Protector. Protecting homes from flooding is all we do. I invite you to call today at 800-238-0822 or visit don'tflood.com to learn more and for no-nonsense pricing. That's 800-238-0822 or don'tflood.com. Use the call letters of this station for a 5% discount.
ChicagoRadioDeals.com can help you spiff up your home and auto. Wash away the road grime and dirt with a great deal from Fuller's Car Wash of Elk Grove Village. A full-service car wash package includes a wash, vacuum, windows, a dash wipe down, an $18 deal for only $10. Hey, give your home the clean it needs with an excellent deal from the Grout Medic of LaGrange. Grout Medic offers a shower touch-up that includes a steam clean of your shower tile and grout, or choose a clean and color seal floor package for your kitchen or bathroom. Each deal $110. That's a $250 value. And shop at a great local hardware store with personal customer service. Purchase the Addison Building Materials $100 gift certificate for only $50. Addison Building Materials is a true value retailer. So tackle your home improvement projects with help from your friends at ChicagoRadioDeals.com.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. When you think about quality K-12 schools that put kids on a path to being successful, independent adults, do you think of gender-inclusive toolkits, opposition to federal law enforcement, support for the impeachment of the president? If you don't, you probably weren't at the National Education Association's annual meeting. In worldwide rankings, U.S. high school students do not crack the top 20 in either science or reading and have dropped to 35th in math. The response from the nation's largest teachers union is to argue for in-state college tuition for persons in the country illegally and against the U.S.'s quote-unquote illegal overthrow of the Hawaiian monarchy in 1893. 159 new business items and nary a one dealing with student performance, classroom instruction, or fiduciary responsibility. The NEA has affiliates in all 50 states. They take over school districts, subordinate intellectual development to political indoctrination, and purchase legislators who fund it all on your dime and at your kid's expense. So when the NEA tells you that their business is making your kid a sentinel of the welfare state, you should believe them and maybe show up to a school board meeting.
5:56. Where are the traffic tie-ups this morning? Let's check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. And for the very latest, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Traffic sitting heavy on westbound 190 at O'Hare, slow from the Kennedy to the Tri-State. And the outbound Kennedy has delays starting at Foster. Looking at about 28 minutes from downtown to the airport. Inbound 22. Edens is fine. Inbound Eisenhower, 33 minutes. Thorndale to the old post office downtown, outbound 29. Inbound Stevenson, 42 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. It's fine outbound. Ryan, 20 minutes. 95th to downtown. I-57, 24 minutes. I-80 to the merge. Bishop 427. It's on Tri-State heavy from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. The other tollways are good. Flood-related closures remain in place in displays of Central Road and Gulf Road at River Road. Chicago Avenue is closed in River Forest and Maywood. Thatcher and First Avenue. Closures of River Grove and Grand Avenue continue in River Grove, plus others farther north and west. Traffic is a service of NTB. Get your 5-quart conventional oil change today, just $19.99 plus $3 disposal fee. For tires, oil, service, and repairs. National Tire and Battery, that's all you need. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Here's our meteorologist, Brian May.
Partly sunny and not as warm today with lower humidity, high 76. Partly cloudy tonight, low 63. Sunshine and low humidity tomorrow, high 80. Wednesday, pleasant, some sun, high 83. I'm Brian May on AM 560. The Answer.
68 at O'Hare. The news, a service of Napa Auto Parts. This month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores, the Napa Bucket for $3.99 is back. You not only will get 20% off 3 or more items you can fit inside, but they'll also donate $1 to the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund with purchase. While supplies last, Exclusions apply. 5:59 in the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. Nissan of St. Charles, home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. Leaders in McHenry County say they'll take all the help they can get trying to push back the swollen Fox River. Pumps are being asked for to clear water out of Algonquin and Cary. Authorities are searching for a man wanted in 4 strong-arm robberies this year of banks in the Chicagoland area. FBI says the most recent incident happened Saturday when a suspect held up a Fifth Third Bank in Rosemont. Time is running out for Illinois senators to avoid another special session. Governor Rauner on Friday announcing if the Senate doesn't send him their school funding plan by noon today, he'll call everyone back into a special session. Cubs put down the Cardinals 5-3. Royals sweep out the White Sox with a 5-4 win. Cubs and Sox open up a 4-game set at Wrigley tonight. Currently 68. WIND Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
He'll talk, but not under oath. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Jared Kushner will meet with the Senate Intelligence Committee in private today. President Trump's son-in-law and advisor has just put out a long statement he hopes will set the record straight on his contacts with Russia, saying he hardly had any. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, I have nothing to hide. That from Jared Kushner in a statement released ahead of his closed-door session today with the Senate Intelligence Committee. Kushner said documents he's providing show he had perhaps 4 contacts with Russian representatives out of the thousands during the campaign and the transition, and that those contacts were not memorable or impactful. He also said he did not collude nor knew of anyone else in the campaign who colluded with any foreign government. Kushner also denies reports he suggested a secret back channel for communications to the Russian ambassador. Dave?
Rachel, Democrats also have questions for Donald Trump Jr. about the campaign meeting with the Russians that Kushner attended to possibly get info on Hillary Clinton. President Trump has just tweeted after 1 year of investigation with 0 evidence being found. Minority Leader in the Senate, Chuck Schumer, just stated Democrats should blame ourselves, not Russia. The president also tweeted, drain the swamp should be changed to drain the sewer. The U.S. may punish Russia even more for meddling in the campaign.
This weekend, the House and the Senate reached a deal to pass a new round of sanctions against Russia. But the bill also included wording that would block the president from rolling back any of those sanctions without Congress's approval. The White House has been lobbying to have that part removed, arguing that it limits their ability to negotiate.
That's Fox's Garrett Tenney. A Florida man is due in court in Texas today to face charges over the weekend discovery of dozens of immigrants being illegally taken into the country. They were found crammed inside a sweltering truck outside a Walmart in San Antonio. 9 people died. 17 others have a life-threatening condition. Fox News, fair and balanced.
This summer, everybody is talking about one person. And on August 22nd, we want to hear what you have to say about President Donald Trump. Join AM 560's Joe Walsh for the Summer of Trump as he welcomes Hugh Hewitt and Guy Benson to the Bolingbrook Golf Club. Join the debate as they discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly moments of the Trump administration. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/summer. Sponsored in part by Storlock and by Best Dental Group.
Home isn't just a place, it's a feeling that you're safe to enjoy the things that matter most. ADT lets you take that feeling with you, whether you're at home, your business, or online. We help keep you safe with security systems, home automation, alarms, and surveillance, so you can feel at home wherever you are. Go to ADT.com to get that feeling for less than $1 a day. ADT, home, safe home.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. Every day people ask me, can I still take advantage of today's low rates? Is it still a good time to refinance? The answer is yes. Now's a great time to call Quicken Loans at 800-QUICKEN. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.99%, APR 4.19%. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Hello, this is financial advisor Dale Bradley speaking to you from the Bradley Investment Center in Evanston. Have you ever made an investment through one of those large national brokerage firms? Have you ever felt like just a number? Well, at Bradley Investment Center, our goal is not to be the largest practice. It's simply to be the best by establishing and keeping true personal relationships. Visit us at BradleyInvestmentCenter.com. That's BradleyInvestmentCenter.com. Or better yet, stop by and say hello. We are at the corner of Central and Central Park in beautiful Northwest Evanston. We strive to be the center of all your family's investment needs. For more information, call the Bradley Investment Center at 855-940-8700. That's 855-940-8700.
Bradley Investment Center. Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc. Bradley Investment Center is not a registered broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services.
This hourly segment is brought to you by The Lou Bridges Show, a show about the truth of the foreclosure crisis. Saturday mornings at 8 on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And this breaking news, the New York Times reporting. So,
so take it with a grain of salt.
Sort of, yeah. Jared Kushner to tell Congress, not under oath, but he is going to tell the Senate Judiciary Committee, according to the New York Times. I did not collude, and I also didn't know anything of the agenda of that June 2016 meeting with Miss Veselnitskaya and
his brother-in-law, Donald Trump Jr.
Right, and Paul Manafort, and some flack for some Azerbaijani pop star, and it's good grief. So anyway, for more on this topic, as well as Jared Kushner amending his financial disclosure reports, as well as what we expect to hear from Don Jr. and Paul Manafort when they testify this week, as well as the shakeup in the comm staff at the White House, as well as the prospect of Eau Claire replace. We're pleased to be joined by David Drucker. He is the senior political correspondent for the Washington Examiner. David, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. Happy to be here.
So why don't we start with Jared Kushner and other Trump relatives and former campaign officials, their testimony as anticipated before Senate Judiciary in the New York Times report that just came out. Do you suspect that because this is behind closed doors, because this is not under oath, that it's going to have limited value in terms of trying to turn this story for the Trump administration?
It's hard to tell. I mean, the information that's coming out this morning is from an 11-page statement that Kushner is releasing in advance of his testimony, I think, in closed session before the Senate Intelligence Committee. And so this is something that he is putting out himself. And I think it sort of depends on what they find out, what Kushner and later Don Jr. Have to say, I think, about this meeting with the Russians that nobody disclosed until it was discovered by the New York Times. And look, in all of this, I don't ever think the issue is so much collusion per se. It's just they have a bad habit of failing to disclose contacts with people that they're supposed to disclose contacts with in order to get security clearances. And they keep, insisting, 150% that this didn't happen or that didn't happen. And then, lo and behold, it happened. And so they're causing themselves to have to answer more questions simply because they didn't do their homework during the transition period. And they're still not doing their homework. I mean, the Kushner, and there could be a perfectly reason for all this, but it's not even just contact with foreign officials that Kushner, wasn't disclosing and needed to go back and disclose to get his security clearance. It was, the assets that he holds with his wife and things like that.
Well, could this be, youthful indiscretion? It is their first time in the political world.
No.
Nope.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it could be incompetence.
Yeah, sloppiness or incompetence. Yeah.
I don't buy the well, they're naive, they've never done this before. First of all, by the time the now president won the nomination, they had been running for president a year. They had on staff, and he's now the White House counsel, Don McGahn, one of the best election lawyers in Washington. They've had access to expertise, the RNC. I mean, these are just things you do. I mean, I don't know much about real estate, but, when I bought property, I hired a realtor.
Mm-hmm.
Realtor told me if I needed a real estate lawyer or not. They told me I needed to buy title insurance. I mean, the idea that, Jared Kushner should be in charge of Middle East peace, but he wasn't, smart enough to figure out what to do once the president won in disclosing all of his contacts. I'm not suggesting, well, that means that he's a crook. I'm just saying that I think it's a lousy excuse.
Do you think it's a situation, and maybe this is the culture that emanates from the president himself, that it's just a situation where you got a lot of people that are used to playing fast and loose, and they're continuing to do it in an environment that doesn't welcome it?
I think it's possible. I mean, clearly the president, ran his business in a sort of seat-in-your-pants sort of way. It really wasn't a large business. It was a small family business. Everybody reported to him personally. Most of his top people were his family members. And it was really about managing a personal brand and not running a vast, public enterprise. It wasn't a public company. It wasn't very big, which is not to diminish its success, and it just wasn't. So it's possible that this reflects the fact that everything that Trump has run has always been at the whim of his, whatever he decided to do at that given moment.
Switching to Obamacare Replace, interesting piece by Heather Higgins over the weekend in the Wall Street Journal, which echoes something that Congressman DeSantis has suggested, Republican congressman, that here's a way to get recalcitrant Republicans on board for Obamacare Replace, those in the Senate, is force senators and their staff to purchase Obamacare provided insurance on the exchanges. It's good messaging. I don't know that breaks anything loose. Where do you think Obamacare replaces this week as the Senate prepares to vote on something or other? We don't know.
Yes, it's hard to tell. I mean, look, when Obamacare passed, members of Congress and their staff did have to purchase on the exchanges. So there's nothing new there as far as I can tell. I mean, I remember talking to Republican staffers who were bewildered and annoyed at having to deal with the Obamacare exchanges and weren't that thrilled with it. But then again, they worked for people that voted against it. And I think part of this is whether or not Republicans in the Senate have sort of internalized the idea that voting for a bill that isn't that great or may have a lot of flaws is better than doing nothing. And we'll see if that's where they are on this topic. Mitch McConnell concluded when negotiations broke down last week that he was going to force them to vote on something, which is really unusual. It doesn't happen often that you tell your members you're going to vote on something even if it fails and you're going to own it. Because usually when you take a tough vote, there's a lot of political cost that goes with it, but at least the payoff is you changed policy and you can at least tell your constituents, you may not like this, but here's how we're going to make life better. But here McConnell's saying you're going to own this vote, and you may have to go home and explain why you totally blew this thing, and you're going to have to explain your vote. So this is a really interesting situation here. We'll see. McConnell's goal was to try and spur these guys to then actually agree on something so it wasn't a wasted vote. We'll see if it works.
Well, do you think the Obamacare repeal bill will fail this week? And if so, then what's next?
Well, they don't have the vote for straight repeal. The only way they're going to do this is if they do repeal in place. And if everything fails this week, I still don't think that's necessarily the end of the story. But, as to how and when it isn't much. Just remember, in the House, it failed, and it was a failure, and it was dead for 6 weeks. Meanwhile, people were talking, and eventually it passed.
Your reaction to the shakeup on the comms team, both Anthony Scaramucci and his role as the comm director, and in what that signals about the posture of the Trump administration, perhaps that he'll be even less conventional than he's been and able to be less conventional by Scaramucci and even more combative with respect to the D.C. press corps.
Yeah, look, I think Anthony Scaramucci is very capable. I like dealing with him when I've dealt with him, but he's not going to solve any problems. I mean, the problem with the comm staff isn't that it hasn't been forward-thinking enough or that it's been too conventional, it's run by political hacks. The problem that they've had is that Donald Trump is really the communications director. He tweets at all hours. He says what he wants, when he wants. It's liberating. It's great if you're a reporter. It gives you a lot to cover, but it's not a disciplined message focused on his agenda, much of which could actually find a lot of bipartisan support in a vacuum. And so, I think we saw yesterday, as articulate and confident as Scaramucci was on the Sunday shows, for nerds like me that have to watch that stuff rather than do something normal, that the entire conversation and every interview was about the things the president had tweeted the Saturday or the day before.
Yeah, he went nuts over the weekend.
And pardons and all of that. So I don't think that it's going to make one bit of difference. I think it's all about the principle that he serves.
Well, so
until President Trump stops acting as communications director, then it's going to be more the same.
Well, that's sort of my question. I haven't dealt with Scaramucci like you have, so I wonder if you have any insight in this. It could go one of two ways. He could be an enabler for Trump's worst instincts and be kind of a self-promoter himself, which he seems to be, Scaramucci. Or he could go the other way. He could have enough standing in the president's mind and because he is a sharp guy, as you say, because he has facility in dealing with the media, and have the standing to rein President Trump in a way that maybe Spicer or even Priebus did not and does not.
So there's a theory that because he's a multimillionaire who was successful in business and because he was a New Yorker, that maybe the president will respect him, and therefore maybe he'll listen to him.
Right.
The story of President Trump is that if he's going to listen to anybody, he listens to people who make a lot of money. These are the kinds of people he respects. He thinks political operatives are idiots. And people in business, it's not just that you're in business, it's that you make a lot of money that he respects. So that's a theory. It's something that I covered in my story on Friday. It's a possibility. I'm just very skeptical because we've seen the president surrounded by all sorts of people, his daughter, his son-in-law, all sorts of people, Steve Bannon, people he respects. He can go a couple weeks at most at a time without erupting.
Mm-hmm. Now, he demands loyalty for, not publicly, but demands loyalty, I've heard from people. But who is President Trump loyal to?
Himself.
Yeah, that seems fairly clear. All right, he is David Drucker, senior political correspondent for the Washington Examiner, WashingtonExaminer.com. David, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Anytime, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Partly sunny today, not as humid, that's for sure. And it could be a nice day for the Crosstown Classic, 120, Wrigley Field, Cubs, Sox. Dan, you want to place your bets? I mean, you guys are coming off a 9-game losing streak, so you have nowhere to go but up.
What are you talking about? You guys got all the Sox players that are relevant. Jose Quintana. It's like the Sox. It's like an inter-squad game, the Sox versus the Sox.
We'll see what happens. So I guess we're not going to make a bet, okay? High of 77 degrees, and then tomorrow partly sunny, pleasant. Low humidity, just a gorgeous summer day, a high of 82. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Good morning. Eden's inbound, heavy starting at Cicero. 20 minutes, Lake Cook to the junction, outbound 19. The Kennedy, 22 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 32. The delay is kicking at Lawrence. Westbound 190 is stop and go from the Kennedy to the Tri-State. Inbound Eisenhower, delay start at Wolf Road, 36 minutes. Thorndale to downtown, outbound 30. Outbound Stevenson, 43 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, fine outbound. Ryan, 21 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, Bishop Ford, both 20 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Northbound Tri-State, heavy at 290. Eastbound Adams, still way slow from the Tri-State through the Kennedy. Many flood-related closures continue, especially in Des Plaines, River Forest, River Grove, and also we still have some closures farther north and west. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Finding great candidates to hire can be, well, like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter is different. It doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them. With its powerful technology, ZipRecruiter distributes your job everywhere it needs to be to find the right candidates. In fact, over 80% of jobs on ZipRecruiter get a qualified candidate in just one day. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, only ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
used by businesses of all sizes. ZipRecruiter offers the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work for your free trial. ZipRecruiter.com/work.
Dan Proft here with an important message for Chicagoland business owners. If you own or rent your building, chances are that you're paying more than your fair share of property taxes. Ask yourself this question. If you could lower your property taxes with the help of licensed professionals who have an 80% average success rate, yes, you heard that right, an 80% success rate, lowering business owners' property taxes, would you do that? Corporate Valuation Advisors has reduced their clients' property taxes on average by 20% over their 25-year service history throughout the greater Chicagoland area. Here's a Corporate Valuation Advisor's recent property tax savings success story from a local Chicago business owner. Their first year of property tax savings equaled $26,265. The total 4-year property tax savings equaled $104,679. Call Corporate Valuation Advisors. They can help. 630-923-5371. That's 630-923-5371. You can also find them at yourfairtax.com or visit 560theanswer.com and look for the Corporate Valuation Advisors banner.
So what would you do with an extra $500 a month in your budget? $500. This isn't hypothetical, by the way. This is something you may need to think about very soon if you decide to become a member of Medi-Share. Medi-Share is a way to pay for your health care, and typically it costs $500 less per month for a family versus other health care plans. So seriously, think about this. You could pay off loans, pay down a mortgage, save the money for retirement, donate to charity. That would be a big deal. But you know what? Here's the best thing. Medi-Share works. It has 250,000 members, and it's growing fast. With Medi-Share, not only do you save, you don't have to pay for things you don't believe in either, and that is a beautiful thing too. So here's how you can find out more, and you might actually wind up saving even more than $500 a month. So check into it. Here's the number. Call 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE. Now available in Montana. Call 844-41-BIBLE.
AM 560. The Answer.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Pet stories.
Yes. Animal stories?
Hey. That's
What?
a copyright infringement.
Oh,
Larry
okay.
Lujak's estate is going to sue us.
All right,
Careful.
Uncle Tom. Little Tommy.
Yeah, thank you. This from New York. New York has a law that prohibits dog sitting.
Uh-oh. Seriously? That's how people survive in the city. Working dog owners like yourself. You need dog sitters, right, Dan? You have a dog sitter now?
No, I don't. I don't trust anybody with Hayek. New York bans anyone from taking money to care for an animal outside of a licensed kennel. And the department has warned a popular pet sitting app that its users are breaking the law. Now that this has surfaced, Alderman Ed Burke will be proposing an ordinance to ban pet sitting in Chicago in 3-2 as soon as he gets up.
That's not... They can't do that. Is this just another money grab from the government? They're going to fine you?
They did it. It's apparently Big Kennel has a lot of political power in New York, and so, they don't want the one-off pet sitter horning in on their business.
What if your neighbor helps out and walks your dog every day?
If you give them cash, you're in violation of the law, and you will be sentenced to death.
But if you don't let the dogs out, they're going to sound like that, Dan, because they need to relieve themselves.
And then that prompts the question of who let the dogs out.
Hey-oh. Well, I have this story for you from Milwaukee, or as we all
Wait
call
a second.
it.
I'm not done with this.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Continue.
The health code in New York bans boarding, feeding, and grooming animals for a fee without a kennel license, and says those licenses can't be issued for private homes. So your neighbor can't feed your dog without a kennel license. I mean, I guess if you compensate your neighbor for the time of feeding your dog and or watching your dog and or taking your dog out and or grooming your dog, grooming may be
Big government.
a bit far, but yeah.
They're controlling your animals now. That's great.
Yeah, and you also have to register.
What? Stop it. Are you sure you're not reading an article from The Onion?
No, I'm not. I mean, because you're talking about this you've got apps that are popular, right?
Right.
Dogvacay.com. There's another one, I think, Rover, it's called. Rover bought dogvacay.com. Okay, so
People use them in Chicago all the time.
Rover has 95,000 pet owners registered in the city, 9,000 sitters who brought in $4.1 million in the last year. This is not an inconsequential thing in terms of the number of people participating. And, of course, this is great. The vanguard of the state, now they realize that this is on the books. And so they're getting heat from pet owners, of course, which are numerous. And so now, this is terrible, some Democrat from Manhattan. It's so crazy. Millions of cats and dogs in New York, and people, I think, can pet sit or have someone pet sit for them to have a law in the books that says that's illegal is antiquated and not practical. Sure. Big government Democrats all of a sudden talking about what's antiquated and not practical as it pertains to human interaction in the marketplace.
That's
Interesting,
probably
the
because
exception.
they have dog sitters that they use.
Well, why? I mean, they're not bounded by their own hypocrisy. Think about. I'm not analogizing it. I'm just giving another example. Think about all the politicians who send their children to private school, only to oppose programs that would allow other families to send their kids to private school. The people who pay their salaries so they can send their kids to private school, but those same people then don't have the resources to make that choice if they were so inclined.
And they always say that it's a safety issue, and if my kids went to that school, it'd be a distraction, blah, blah, blah.
No,
we
it's
don't
a safety
care.
issue for the dogs.
Yeah,
too.
right.
You have to have a licensed kennel. Yeah, a licensed kennel. So, pet owners in Chicago, if you're, engaged in the black market of dog sitting, expect members of the Chicago City Council to be coming for you. And if not, ask them why. Why the exception here in terms of regulating market transactions?
Well, speaking of the black market,
Yeah.
can I tell my dog story?
Sure, of
Can I
course.
tell my dog story? Okay. So you always hear stories like people are eating dog and they're eating cats and it's a joke. You think they're kidding, but they're not, because in South Korea, 149 dogs were rescued before they were killed and eaten. 150 dogs destined to be eaten in South Korea, now safe in the United States. So that's good, according to the animal welfare activists in Wisconsin. The Humane Animal Welfare Society in Waukesha, they're racing to rehome the rescued animals, and you should take a look at them. I think there's a Arabian Canuku there too, and that's what you have. That's what Hayek is, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
But they're great. So they said that they rescued the dogs during what's called Boknal Days in South Korea, where the dogs would have been slaughtered and used in soup. So right now the animals are quarantined. They're being examined for medical issues, given vaccinations, and soon they're going to be ready to meet their new owners. But these dogs are adorable.
Would you like some oyster crackers with your dog soup?
But didn't you? I always thought
I would.
that was, if people didn't really eat dog, they do. They eat dog.
No, right.
That's
What do you mean?
disgusting.
What do you mean you didn't think?
But it wasn't just an Arabian Canuku, or there was a Chow mixed dog in there. There was this beautiful puppy.
Well, you
there
want choice on the menu. Some people want a Canuku, other people want a golden retriever.
So they have 10 dogs there right now. They're going to receive 6 more dogs in the coming days. But if you're looking for an animal, log on to WISN TV and you can pick out an animal. Because there's many. I think we should go up there, Dan, and we can get you a second dog.
No, I don't think so.
I think Hayek needs a little buddy, a little playmate.
No. But maybe he needs lunch.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
If you have pain, listen up. Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So, Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication condition and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
Message and data rates may apply. Please don't text while driving.
Did you know your organization's logo can do far more than you think?
Your logo carried my clothes to the gym.
Your logo kept my coffee warm all morning. Your logo charged my phone last night.
When the highly trained team at 4imprint put your logo on things people actually use, you'll be amazed at how powerful your logo can be. Not only will we unleash the full power of your logo, we'll show you the top 3 promotional items for driving new customers absolutely free. Text TEAM to 642-642 now. Every time your customers enjoy one of our promotional items with your logo, they'll think of you. Plus, with free art assistance, we'll make every item look fantastic for a great price. Satisfaction guaranteed.
Your logo keeps my laptop safe.
Your logo keeps me dry. Attract new customers, reward employees, and make a lasting impression. Discover the top 3 promotional items for free. Text TEAM to 642-642. That's TEAM to 642-642.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, we got a dog caller. Hold on, Mike Scott. Mark in Des Plaines, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Amy, it was completely inappropriate for people in the United States to bring those dogs here because they don't speak English. To bring them from South Korea to here, that's just totally inappropriate.
All right, thanks for the call, Mark. All right, coming up, there's another special session in the offing, this time on school funding and what the proposed Chicago Dems CPS bailout means for you and who stands to benefit. That's all at 6:36.
And later, a teacher panhandles for school supplies, and we have a life-saving linebacker who's from Chicago. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
68 degrees this morning in the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. Nissan of St. Charles, home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. Investigators are working today to identify victims who died in a human smuggling operation in Texas. At least 9 died after being kept in a sweltering trailer of an 18-wheeler in San Antonio over the weekend. San Antonio Police Chief William McManus.
Department of Homeland Security is involved. They're working with us. Homicide will work with them to determine the origin of this horrific tragedy.
30 others in the trailer hospitalized, many in critical condition. A dozen are dead after a suicide car bombing in the capital of Afghanistan. 10 others were hurt in the blast in Kabul. The death toll is expected to rise. White House senior advisor and Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner is scheduled to appear in a closed session of the Senate Intelligence Committee today. President Trump will talk later today about health insurance reform, firing off on Twitter, warning that Republicans face consequences if they do not repeal and replace Obamacare. Severe thunderstorms that brought heavy rain, hail, and strong winds to the northern section of the state have exacerbated recent flooding in some areas this morning. Storms moved through late yesterday, causing the already swollen Fox River to rise again. Flooding began earlier this month, prompting state disaster declarations. Over the weekend, the city of St. Charles closed the Illinois Street Bridge and the Indiana Street pedestrian bridge due to the rising Fox. 2 Chicago men accused of shooting a local police officer last week on the South Side are due in bond court today. Donzel Grant, Cortez Harrington are facing multiple charges, including attempted first-degree murder. A DuPage County official, the newest state senator for the state of Illinois, County Board Vice Chair John Curran, has been appointed to replace Christine Radonio, Lamont Republican, who resigned from the Senate on July 1st. And this morning in Wisconsin, there is a company offering to give its employees microchip implants. But it's not for what you think. More than 50 who work for 3 Square Market will have a device the size of a grain of rice implanted between their thumb and index finger. The company says the microchip will be used to buy snacks in the break room or to log on to their local computer. Wilson Contreras and Kyle Schwarber both left the yard. Cubs put down the Cardinals 5-3. Royals sweep out the Sox with a 5-4 win. Cubs and Sox begin a 4-game home-and-home set at Wrigley today. Jordan Spieth, the winner of the 146th Open Championship over Matt Kuchar. The news, a service of Napa Auto Parts. This month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores, the Napa Bucket for $3.99 is back. Not only will you get 20% off 3 or more items you can fit inside, but they'll also donate $1 to the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund with purchase. While supplies last, exclusions apply. 6:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager believes the GOP is fighting a tough battle.
I'm distressed because the Republican Party is up against the greatest addiction in the country. Addiction to benefits. The drug is benefits. You become so addicted to it that it becomes impossible to change. Impossible. This is how governments collapse.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Right now with Galaxy. Buy one cabinet, get one free. Visit us online at GalaxyHome.com to schedule your free in-home estimate. Save an additional $500 when you book right now.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Bob Aument, a founding partner of the law firm of Dassman and Aument and longtime personal customer of Signature Bank. Our firm recently left one of the larger banks to bank with Signature Bank, and it's been a refreshing change. With Signature Bank, we've been able to tailor banking solutions that fit the specific needs of our firm. Beyond that, Signature Bank is responsive, efficient, and timely in meeting those needs. If I have a request, I pick up the phone and talk to Mick O'Rourke, not someone at a phone bank thousands of miles away. Dassman and Aument needed more than what the larger banks offer, and we found that with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. Learn more about turning your business vision into reality. Visit signature-bank.com. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It is 6:35. Let's get a check of the roads this early morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. More flood trouble, Jim Talamonte.
That's right, Mike. In Port Barrington, Rawson Bridge Road is closed to Robertson Tuxedo Lane. We've actually got a crash on Rawson Bridge right at Roberts as well. Mixed into that, Round Lake, Nippersink still blocked, and Fairfield and Wilson. Closures continue, especially in Des Plaines, River Grove, including stretches of Central Road and Gulf Road in Des Plaines at East River Road. River Grove, River Road is closed in First Avenue and Belmont, along with Grand Avenue. Thacker and 25th, and River Forest to Maywood, Chicago Avenue is closed, and Thatcher and First Avenue. Northbound Tri-State has heavy traffic now from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue, eastbound Adams Tollway. Stop and go Bartlett, Barrington after a crash. The Edens, 22 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 20. Kennedy, 24 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 37. And on Eisenhower delays, start at Manheim, 42 minutes, Thorndale to downtown, outbound 32. On Stevenson, 56 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 37. Ryan is 24 minutes, 95th to the Loop. Traffic is the service of LL Bean. At LL Bean, every school year is a new adventure. And now you can get 20% off book packs, kids' clothing, and more of the stuff every student needs. Visit LL Bean in Chicago today. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. Providing the right climate for business since 1935. Partly sunny, not as warm, lower humidities. Today, highs 77, partly cloudy and 61 overnight. Currently, mostly cloudy and 68 at O'Hare. Next news at 7. Continuous news coverage at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee.
Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity, this afternoon at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So unless a deal is reached today on school funding, which is unlikely, you're going to see a special session this week in the General Assembly again. And we'll see if it turns out as disastrously as the one 2 weeks ago on the budget did, which was massive tax increases, no spend reform. That's what Chicago Democrats want. They want massive bailouts, consistent with their no spend reform, and no reform to how we fund schools in this state, or any connection between inputs and outputs in K through 12 education. Let me tell you a little story about this too, in terms of who benefits for how we fund education and who would benefit from what is more money piped into K through 12 systems, and specifically, and this is where the rub is, the bailout of CPS pensions. Short term. You're not really bailing it out. You're not stabilizing it. You're just buying some time.
Is this so we can start on time?
Well, so
next month.
So the schools that require general state aid to live hand to mouth effectively can open, which is it's estimated to be as many as half of them. Let me tell you a story though about this couple in Harrisburg. This is Saline County. This is Southern Illinois. So you think this is just a Chicago problem? The cancer has spread. It's all over the state, and it's metastasized. Angela Gausch and her husband Mike, they lobbied hard for the state income tax earlier this month in the last special session, and they're advocating for Senate Bill 1, which is the Chicago Dem proposal for school funding as well, of course. Combined, they earn $220,000 a year from the taxpayers, which is more than 5 times the median Saline County household income. Of course, they're they're not working in July because Mike Gausch is a superintendent at Harrisburg School District, and Angela is a teacher in Carbondale.
Okay.
Again, $220,000 between the two of them. Median household income in Saline County is $38,000. State income tax is going to cost their Harrisburg neighbors a combined $5 million a year that they send to Springfield. But it's not about them, the Gausches insist. No, of course not. And they're not overpaid either. It's about the kids. It's always about the kids, don't you know? The Gausches' home in Harrisburg, 2 blocks from Shawnee Hills Country Club, they paid $219,000 for in 2015. The median home sale price in Harrisburg over the last year, $46,000. They make 5 times as much. The home's worth 4 times as much. Bob Sandage, who we interviewed, this is a story we did in our Southeastern Illinois outlet, seillinoisnews.com, if you want to look it up. I'll tweet it as well, at Dan Proft. I have, actually. Bob Sandage, 40-year veteran of the coal mining industry who lives in Harrisburg.
Yeah.
Myself, along with hundreds of others who were working and couldn't go to Springfield to lobby, talking about them lobbying for the tax increase. By the way, Angela Gausch confronted Jeannie Ives and excoriated her for voting against the budget, which was the massive tax increases and the lack of spend reform. Coal mines in Saline County were operating and carrying on business as usual, said Bob Sanders. I think teachers should be compensated for their commitment and dedication, but not to the extreme that they are in Illinois. The education system could stand to manage their cash the way a business manages its own cash. Numerous industries across the nation have been forced to make concessions in order to remain profitable. The education system might try following suit, said Mr. Sandage. The average teacher salary in Harrisburg, $51,000. And again, that's 35% more than the median household income. It's also significantly more than nearby Morganfield, Kentucky, and nearby Mount Vernon, Indiana. Both of those communities have significantly higher costs of living as measured by real estate values, in part because, of course, property taxes decimate property values in Illinois.
The average salary for a teacher there is $51,000
in Harrisburg, in Southern Illinois. It's interesting because the conversation is always, well, how much would you pay for a good teacher? What's a good teacher worth? Okay. Let me ask a question that's never contemplated. Never asked. What's a bad teacher cost? Because you know, if you've watched Waiting for Superman or if you've read The Scholarship, that a bad teacher, and I concede the point that it is a very small percentage of the overall teacher population, bad teachers, but the bad teacher has a disproportionate impact on a child's intellectual development, and the bad teacher is compensated just like the good teacher if they have the same credentials. That's the union standard, isn't it? And the bad teacher can stunt a child's intellectual development by 1 to 2 grade levels just for having that kid for 1 year if you're a bad teacher. That's Stanford research.
I know a student who dropped out of high school because they had such a horrific teacher, a bad teacher that has been on record or has been, written up several times, but they can't get rid of the teacher because of the union.
Right. So that's anecdotal, but the Stanford research is peer-reviewed. But these are the stories that make up ultimately the distillation of the issue by academics. And so, and to the other question, how much is a good teacher worth? Look, I've said on this show, and I've said for years and years and years, but I know a lot of people don't want to hear this part of it because their outrage is selective, as is their hearing. A great teacher is like a great artist. I mean, a great teacher has such an impact on children's educational, intellectual development and tracking kids to be lifelong learners. So important. I had great teachers. That's why I've, been able to garner something approximating moderate success in life.
You taught your teachers.
No,
I'm kidding.
And it's the same for you. You had great teachers.
I had wonderful teachers.
So that of course, there's nobody opposed to great teachers, and there's nobody opposed to teachers, generally speaking. But if you want to get to the market clearing salary for teachers, it's real easy to do. Just like any profession in the public sector. How do we price the public sector? Because it's not bottom line driven. Clearly, Illinois being the worst example of that. It's easy. How do we do public sector contracts? We bid them out. And the contracts are awarded, except when the bids are rigged, like in Chicago and Illinois. But generally speaking, theoretically, the bids are awarded to the lowest responsible bidder normally, aren't they? So you want to do that? You want to find out what the market clearing salaries are for state jobs, even for teaching jobs. You do the same thing. Bid them out. You really want to find out what the market clearing salaries are? No, you don't, teachers. No, you don't. You want to find out what the market clearing benefit packages are associated with those salaries? No, you don't, because there'll be nothing approximating what they are right now, where you have politicians competing with one another to write blank checks and teachers demanding blank checks, teachers' unions at least, and the associated politicians. So you want to do it that way? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro, answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro, text line. Never a conversation about how much a bad teacher costs. Never a conversation about the dollars that are continue to be poured into a system in which 2/3 of children in Illinois at both the 4th and 8th grade levels neither read nor do math at the 4th and 8th grade levels with their respective cohorts. So that's a system, to me, that's failing. But hey, that's just me. If you think 1 in 3, getting kids to read and do math at grade level in 4th and 8th grade, if we can do 1 in 3, if you think that's success at the money we're spending, okay. Here's the numbers. Here's what's happening. You think this is fair or unfair? You think this is sustainable or unsustainable? You decide. But don't pretend that the numbers aren't real, and don't pretend that the numbers don't have implications. I'm a little tired of this kind of, I dismiss numbers that I don't want to deal with. I dismiss the implications that I don't want to address. Now you got to address them. And here's another story, by the way, about who benefits from this proposed CPS pension bailout. ChicagoCityWire.com, another story that one of my outlets did because nobody else will. Yeah, for the kids, right? This is all for the kids. The $215 million bailout, just temporary stabilization dollars. It does nothing to change the fundamental trajectory of the Chicago Teachers Pension Fund, which has gone from 100% funded at the beginning of the century to 50% today. 53 investment firms that work with the Chicago Teachers Pension Fund. The Chicago Teachers Pension Fund paid $560 million in investment fees over the past 14 years, the equivalent of 5.4% of the investment returns the funds earned, about $37 million a year, or approximately 2 of every $10 that state taxpayers would give CPS for pensions this year. That's if the bailout that I'm describing becomes the law, which is what the Chicago Democrats are pushing. 53 firms, $516 million in investment fees, $37 million a year. $2 in $10 proposed by Chicago Democrats as part of this funding impasse would go to people who are politically connected money managers. Investment funds like J.P. Morgan, and Wall Street Giants who have a piece of this action, like J.P. Morgan, Morgan Stanley, LaSalle Street Institutions, Northern Trust, William Blair. Also, politically connected funds like John Rogers, Ariel Investments, Mesereau, Walton Street Capital, Capri Capital, Lou Holland Capital Management, and Capri, led by Quentin Primo III. Primo and Rogers were all major fundraisers for Barack Obama, who pressured state pension funds to steer business to Rogers and Primo when he was a state senator. Primo is also business partners with real estate developer Thomas Rosenberg, who's one of the great Section 8 slumlords. Billionaire Neil Bloom, a major donor to Obama, as well as Blago, Lisa Madigan, Dick Durbin, Rahm, runs Walton Street Capital, He also owns Rivers Casino in Des Plaines. Shall I go on? You go to ChicagoCityWire.com if you want a list of all 53 funds. That's who benefits. Kids benefit? This is for the kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. The teachers, like the Gausches in Harrisburg, it's all for the kids. How we doing for the kids? After all this money we continue to pour in, we continue to spend. How we doing? Jack in Oswego, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Pat and Amy. I love your show, and this is something that hits my heart straight on. I'm retired Air Force, and I've been all over the country. The one thing that the old business axiom stands to reason here. You tell me how you're going to measure me and how I'm going to perform. If I'm going to get a freebie, then that's how I'm going to perform. I'm just going to show up to work and do my job. If the teachers want a guaranteed pension and a contract where they're taking care of, their families are taken care of for life, I don't have a problem providing that as long as they create metrics to gauge their performance. Then we could weed out the bad teachers, like your comment of how expensive is a bad teacher. We could weed them out. I don't have a problem paying them, but they got to be worth something to pay.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Jack. And teachers' unions oppose merit pay. It's not just the cost of a bad teacher in terms of inhibiting the intellectual development of children. It's also the cost to terminate them if you actually move to terminate them. School districts are loath to do it. They play the dance of the lemons, another Waiting for Superman reference, because the litigation cost to go through the process per most collective bargaining agreements to remove a bad teacher is in the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Well, say what you want about Principal Troy LaRaviere, but he did get a teacher fired. And he had to sit in that classroom and take...
Congratulations.
Well, no, but it takes a lot of effort. You have to sit there and watch them perform or lack of performance in front of the students and take copious notes and then present that. And
yeah, I'd be a lot more impressed with LaRaviere if he wasn't such an opponent of choice. So on the one hand, he suffers under the system and he's frustrated by the mandates the system imposes. On the other hand, he defends the system and just says it's more money that's required. A little tiresome, frankly. The kind of double talk from these people is so sickening. I'll give you an example, too, because tax credit, we've talked about this last week with both Governor Rauner and with State Representative Mark Batnick. We'll talk about it with State Senator Jason Barrickman at the bottom of the 7 o'clock hour. Tax credit to create a scholarship fund, voluntary scholarship fund like other states. Florida started a decade ago, more, that would provide scholarships to low-income kids, which are disproportionate minority. That's part of the conversation right now this week and as part of any school funding agreement. And you know who opposes it? Of course, all the Chicago Democrats. All the Chicago Democrats who've historically, and And a lot of Republicans, too. A lot of suburban Republicans who are beholden to the teachers union as well. I'm not giving them a pass. But let me just give you an example here, too. Think about the people who oppose school choice for other people's kids. For me, but not for thee. And where they send their kids. The Education Secretary of the state, Beth Purvis, who supports charter schools but is not really a great proponent of choice. She sends her kids to St. Clements. Rahm sends his kids to Lab. Forrest Claypool sends his kid to Francis Parker. Jesse Ruiz's kids attended Lab schools. Arnie Duncan's kids go to Lab schools. Kwame Raoul's kids go to Lab schools. Christian Mitchell went to St. Joe's. He's a state rep from Chicago. Patricia Van Pelt, her deceased daughter, went to Providence St. Mel. She's a state senator. Tom Cullerton, he's a state senator from DuPage, went to St. Athanasius in Evanston, Loyola Academy. And kids went to St. Pius and before they went to Willowbrooks High School. Julie Morrison, all three kids went to Catholic school, a state senator from the North Lake County. Neil Anderson from Quad Cities, Assumption High School, Catholic. Bill Brady, Central Catholic High School. Chris Nybo, Fenwick. Toy Hutchison, Infant Jesus of Prague Elementary School. Jennifer Bettino-Tarrant, Joliet Catholic Academy. Pat McGuire, Joliet Catholic. Bill Cunningham, St. Barnabas. Steve Landek, St. Blaise. Bill Hain down in Southern Illinois, St. Patrick and Marquette Catholic High School. John Cullerton, the Senate President, St. Francis High School in Wheaton. Don Harmon, St. Giles Grade School, St. Ignatius. John Mulrow, State Senator, St. Patrick High School. Matt Murphy, St. Raymond Grade School, St. Viator High School, former state senator. Now, some of, like Murphy, support school choice. Cynthia Soto, St. Procopius. Sam Yingling, Carmel Catholic High School in Mundelein. LaShawn Ford, Catholic Elementary and High School. Dan Burke, Catholic Schools. Dan Brady, Catholic Schools. So that they
a long list there.
Well, exactly. Because for the political class, they have choice, and many of them they have choice because we finance their choice. But they won't provide. Many of them won't provide the same opportunity to other kids, and those kids are primarily from low-income households and primarily Black and Latino. So tell me again how they're on the side of those families and those kids in Chicago and throughout the state. It's a fracking joke. Paul in Lake Forest, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning, Dan. Thanks for putting me.
Morning.
I'll quick because I know we're up against the clock here. We were sitting around yesterday, a few cocktails, myself and my buddies, and wondering if the politicians in Illinois are actually doing this purposely. And our example is this. We see what they just did with Wrigley Field. Rahm's brother is a partner in Wintrust Financial. They beat up those guys that own those buildings in the outfield. They extended loans to them. Then they blocked their views, voided their contracts, and guess who came in and bought up those buildings? Rahm's brother. And we know that Rahm had to get that 5% of the Cubs that was sold.
No.
At that time too, so we're
the
thinking
Ricketts
maybe
own most of the rooftops.
Chicago bad enough.
Paul, okay.
They want to buy the choice real estate and the choice jobs.
Thanks
after it's all run down.
Thanks for the call, Paul. Rick in Downers Grove.
Hey, how you guys doing? I always wondered, like these teachers, they always talk about it's the union leaders who are pushing for the pay increase and all that. And when these teachers go on strike, I've never heard one say, "Gee, I hope this doesn't raise real estate taxes on people." Teachers, like the union leaders, don't care. They want theirs, and they want theirs now. So I would love to see the teachers' union pension go broke, and people go to their mailbox to get an IOU. And I also wondered, why are politicians so concerned about the public sector union pensions, and everybody else is like, that's your problem?
Thanks for the call, Rick. Well, they're so concerned about it because that's who finances their campaigns. That's why they're so concerned about it, those beholden to the public sector unions. I'm concerned about it, too, because I think people should get what they earn. But I'm not going to be oblivious to the math as they want us to be. And by the way, here's the argument you get, too. We're taxpayers, too. We pay property taxes, right. But like in Harrisburg, Illinois, you're making 5 times the median household income in your community. Your house is worth 4 times the median home price in your community. So it's very easy with those numbers to pay higher property taxes, isn't it? Because you're receiving the residual benefit while everybody else is paying the residual cost.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Unemployment fell in 10 states last month. Bank of America expanding in Dublin as a hedge against the Brexit fallout. State government hiring up nationwide. Those stories next.
If you have unpaid tax debt to the IRS that you can't pay, please hear this special notice. Specially approved IRS relief programs designed to aid delinquent taxpayers are now in effect that can significantly improve your financial situation. Depending on your circumstances, you may qualify to have your tax problem resolved in your favor and may even have your back taxes reduced by thousands or eliminated entirely. A relief hotline has been established by Community Tax for you to call and see if you qualify at 800-804-7445. If you owe the IRS back taxes that you can't afford to pay, don't let the IRS trick you into thinking you have no way out. Our highly accredited tax professionals will let you know what you qualify for and how much you can save. We may be able to stop all liens, garnishments, levies, and save you thousands. Call and see if you qualify for this taxpayer relief at 800-804-7445. 800-804-7445. That's 800-804-7445. Community Tax. Who's your tax guy?
Hiring on the rise in 14 states last month. Unemployment fell in 10. 14 states, led by Nevada, Iowa, and Georgia, reported increases. And North Dakota's unemployment rate plummeted to just 2.3%, a record low dating back to 1976. Bank of America selected Dublin as its new base in the European Union when the UK leaves the EU. CEO Brian Moynihan says Bank of America will be adding thousands of employees to the 700 it already has in Dublin. Economic reports due out today, including the latest figures on existing home sales, an update on private sector production and manufacturing. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
He calls it an opportunity to set the record straight. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump's son-in-law and advisor, Jared Kushner, will go before the Senate Intelligence Committee today, but not under oath. And he's put out a statement saying he hardly had any contacts with the Russians during the campaign.
Kushner says he had perhaps 4 contacts with Russian officials during the campaign and the transition, and that those contacts were not impactful or memorable. Deputy Assistant to President Trump, Sebastian Gorka, calls the Russia probe a collusion delusion.
As we have nothing to hide, the reality is that this is still a nothing burger.
Kushner also said he did not try to set up a secret communications channel and that he remains happy to share information with investigators and will continue to cooperate. In Washington, Rachel Sutherland, Fox News.
Now, Democrats have been critical of Kushner and Donald Trump Jr. over a meeting with Russians during the campaign to get dirt on Hillary Clinton. President Trump tweeted a short time ago, "It's a one-year investigation with zero evidence found." But Republican Senator Susan Collins tells CBS,
I know it's hard, but he needs to step back and not comment.
Senate Republicans may vote this week on a health care bill, but it's not clear if it will be one just to repeal Obamacare or repeal and replace. Due in court today in Texas, a Florida man facing charges over all the illegal immigrants found crammed inside a steaming hot truck outside of Walmart. 9 died, 17 others in bad shape at a hospital. Fox's Tanya J. Powers has more live.
James Matthew Bradley has been identified as the driver of that tractor trailer found in that San Antonio Walmart parking lot. 39 people were inside. Ray Saldana is a San Antonio City Council member.
We've been a country for the last 100 years that immigrants see as a place for hope and prosperity and opportunity. We're going to continue to see this problem and people who take advantage of individuals through this human trafficking.
Yesterday, Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, a Republican, railed against sanctuary cities, posting on Facebook the trafficking tragedy is why he pushed a bill to ban them, Dave.
Fox News, fair and balanced.
67 degrees, cloudy skies. Winds are out of the north at 11. It's 7:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Scott in the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. Nissan of St. Charles, home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. Severe thunderstorms that brought heavy rain, hail, and strong winds to the northern sections of the state have exacerbated this morning recent flooding. Storms moving through Sunday afternoon, causing the already rain-swollen Fox River to rise again. Over the weekend, the city of St. Charles closing the Illinois Street Bridge and the Indiana Street pedestrian bridge due to the rising Fox. Flooding continued along portions of the Des Plaines River, with levels expected to recede later this week. Two Chicago men accused of shooting a local police officer on the South Side are due in bond court today. Donzel Grant and Cortez Harrington face multiple charges, including attempted first-degree murder. No one is in custody following a shooting on the South Side that killed one man and wounded 3 others. All 4 victims were shot yesterday in the 1500 block of East 82nd. The body of a truck driver who crashed into a river near Independence, Iowa, has been found. The body of Michael Wallace was discovered in the river over the weekend, along with his submerged truck. The 58-year-old was a resident of Hazel Crest. Chicago sports. Wilson Contreras and Kyle Schwarber both left the yard. Cubs beat the Cardinals 5-3. Royals completed a 3-game sweep of the White Sox with a 5-4 win. Cubs and Sox open a 4-game home-and-home series at Wrigley later today. And Bears linebacker Jarrell Freeman is known for his ability to attack the quarterback, but on Sunday he did something a little more remarkable. He saved someone's life. Freeman reports to training camp with the Bears this week in Bourbonnais. He was at the Austin, Texas airport Sunday when he encountered a man choking on a sandwich. Linebacker, according to Freeman's Twitter account, stepped up, performed the Heimlich. Everyone's safe and happy this morning. The news, a service of Staples. With free next-day delivery from Staples, you can run your business like a pro. Go to staples.com for the office essentials you need, delivered next day free on eligible items only and orders of over $49.99. Placed by 5 p.m. Excludes weekends and holidays. Staples. It's pro time. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
When I heard of Balance of Nature, and I said, because I had prayed, Lord, how am I going to get all this food into me that's so good to me? That's when I called. Now I know that I get my fruits and my vegetables into me, and I don't have to work so hard. I know that I am getting the proper things into my body. I do believe that if I didn't have this already in my body, my Balance of Nature, it wouldn't have gone so good for me. But because my body was healthy, that's what kept me going.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you free. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Home isn't just a place. It's a feeling. Whether you're at home, your business, or online, ADT helps keep you safe with security systems, home automation, alarms, and surveillance, so you can feel at home wherever you are. Go to ADT.com to get that feeling. ADT, home, safe home.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. Every day people ask me, can I still take advantage of today's low rates? Is it still a good time to refinance? The answer is yes. Now's a great time to call Quicken Loans at 800-QUICKEN. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.99%, APR 4.19%. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Do you crave work that matters? 20 years ago, Bob Buford's book, Halftime, took business leaders from success to significance in their work. That book started a movement and the Halftime Institute. Now, from Institute CEO Dean Nawalny comes the next new powerhouse book, Trade Up. Building on Bob's legacy, Trade Up shows marketplace leaders how to not just make money, but make a difference. If the word smoldering discontent describe you, then trade up. Go to halftime.org. That's halftime.org.
7:07, a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, and here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. In Des Plaines, Central Road and Gulf Road remain closed. At River Road due to flooding. There's also a closure of Chicago Avenue and River Forest and Maywood. And Thatcher and First Avenue. And River Grove, stretches of Grand Avenue, River Road are closed. And Round Lake, Nippersink still flooded. And Fairfield, Wilson. Rawson Bridge is closed in Port Barrington. Eden's inbound 21 minutes like Cook to Montrose. Outbound 22. Eden Spurs heavy past Waukegan Road on the eastbound side. Kennedy, 34 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 17 from Montrose, 14 in the Express. Outbound 45 minutes to O'Hare. Not Eisenhower. It's 38 minutes. Thorndale to downtown, outbound 38 as well. Stevenson, 52 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 43. Ryan is 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, Fish Ford, both 17 minutes from I-80 to the merge. Northbound Tri-State. Stop and go Harlem to the Mylong Bridge. Plainfield Road to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Reagan Tollway heavy York to the Tri-State Veterans Memorial. Will heavy starting at Butterfield. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center with our meteorologist, Brian May.
Not as warm today. Lower humidity, some sunshine, and a high of 76. A few clouds tonight, low 63. Pleasant tomorrow with low humidity, high 80. Wednesday, some sun, high 83. I'm Brian May on AM 560. The Answer.
67 and clouds at O'Hare. Next news, 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Fly By Night with your host, comedian, and entertainer extraordinaire, Ken Severa. Saturdays at midnight on AM 560. The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, who is back from Haiti.
Yeah, I brought you a gift too. You want me to give it to you now? Well, we're talking about voodoo.
Yeah, you're going to do a voodoo doll of me.
There is no voodoo dolls in Haiti, but I did find
You weren't looking in the right place.
Oh, trust me, I was looking. I did get you a little doll from a little witch store. Here you go. Put me out about 5 cents.
This is just straw. What is this?
Well, I made it from a broom in the hotel.
You call this a doll?
Well, that's a doll in Haiti.
Does it have any kind of spell on it where I can attach a name to it and then poke and prod it if it's an enemy?
No, there's no voodoo there in Haiti anymore. Well, not that we saw, but the good work that Food for the Poor does is just really. I mean, I'm still processing the whole trip, but I do want to thank Jeff Reisman, Dave Santrell, Marcus Brown for letting me go on that trip because they didn't have to, especially coming off of a 2-week vacation. But we team up with Food for the Poor, so I actually got to see firsthand the good work that they do. And I'm really it was a trip of a lifetime. And I will keep the Haitians in my heart for the rest of my life. And it really is a life-changing experience. And Dan, I think next year, I've already suggested that you go on the trip.
Now, if I get to
see what it's like.
If I get to play ball with Scal Labissiere as you did, then I may go.
Well, I just happened to run into him. People that don't know him, he's born and raised in Haiti. He left after the earthquake. He hasn't been back in 7 years, but he went to an evangelical university in Memphis and then spent a year at Kentucky so that he could get into the NBA. He now plays for the Sacramento Kings. And he came back to do a basketball clinic for the kids where there's really only one court because they're kind of landlocked there in Haiti. One basketball court to do the clinic, but he also met the people who saved his life 7 years ago. Once the earthquake hit, he was a wall of a building collapsed on top of him, and he's like 7 feet tall. So two men rescued him, and he went with his father and thanked them. So it was emotional the whole 5 days that we were there. But I am so glad that we went.
And we missed you at the Operation Support Our Troops Rockin' for the Troops concert on Saturday.
How was that?
It was great. You had The Voices, which was a Motown band, was the open act. They were awesome. They're really good. And then Ayla Brown sang the national anthem, and she also did a set prior to Lynyrd Skynyrd coming on. And Ayla Brown, and I can't believe nobody told me this. I after the fact, after I heard some things, she was on American Idol in 2006, the year Taylor Hicks won, and all that. And
wasn't she from Wheeling?
No.
Okay.
So I looked her up. Scott Brown's daughter. Senator Scott Brown? Senator Scott Brown's daughter. Yeah. And she's been in Nashville for the last 6 years pursuing a country music career, and she's incredible voice. She's great.
Really?
Yeah. And she played basketball at Boston College.
Did she really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. So
sounds like my kind of gal.
It was fun.
So
How was it? A big crowd? Was it?
Yeah, it was all good. And, of course,
Did you make the
Operation Support Our
announcement?
Troops. Yeah, I did, my little
Yeah.
perfunctory emceeing duties, no big deal. But it was, it was great. It was a lot of fun.
Good.
So
and
there
then
you
how
go.
was Leonard Skinnard?
I had to go. I didn't
What
stay
do you mean you had to go? You didn't
I
introduce them?
I didn't stay. No, I didn't stay for Skinner.
Well, did Joe Walsh introduce them then?
No,
or did
Joe Walsh
they
wasn't
need no introduction? They just
I don't believe they need an introduction, especially to Skinner Nation that I saw showing up that have been following them around, I think, since Leonard Skinner was a gym teacher. So that's a long time.
Oh, that's
But
great.
it was
So we
good.
raised a lot of money for Operation Support Our Troops.
For military
and-
families and all the good work that Operation Support Our Troops does. So
Good. Was it sold out?
yeah,
It looked like it was sold out. yeah.
it was a good it was a good crowd. What do you want from me? It was a good crowd. We raised money for
Wow.
military families. I mean, you want me to give you the box office receipts? What
Yeah,
am I,
I want-
Variety magazine? What do you want?
I want numbers, Dad.
All right. So,
no, but that's great that you volunteered your time to do that.
no, yes, I'm a great person. Switching.
Enough about me. What do you think of me?
All right, switching to the Sunday show politics. We got you got your Sekulow, you got your Sanders, and you got your Scaramucci.
Hey, Scaramucci. You're going to call him the Mooch, right?
Well, that's his nickname apparently, at least according to
Slick.
some. Jay Sekulow. Why don't we start there though? Jay Sekulow was on with Chris Wallace to talk about the story in the Washington Post on Friday that the Trump legal team was examining the use of pardons and raising the specter. Can a president pardon himself? So this was something that was being kicked around. Then President Trump tweeted about pardons on Saturday, which added more fuel to the fire, as it were. And Sekulow said the whole thing is nonsense and the Washington Post story is untrue.
Yesterday morning, he said, while all agree that the U.S. president has the complete
this
power
is
to
with,
pardon,
Clinton
why
Foundation
think of it
donor
when
zero.
the only crime so far is leaks against us, fake news? I wonder if you can explain what the president means by that complete power to pardon. Does he believe he has the right to pardon himself?
Well, the president in that tweet stated something that's rather unremarkable, and that is that under the Constitution, under Article 2, Section 2, the president has the authority to pardon. But I want to be clear on this, George. We have not and continue to not have conversations with the president of the United States regarding pardons. Pardons have not been discussed, and pardons are not on the table. Let me tell you what the legal team is not doing. We're not researching the issue because the issue of pardons is not on the table. There's nothing to pardon from.
Right. That seems to me the appropriate response to the Washington Post piece. I mean, Trump's tweet was not inconsistent with that, but he kind of reasserted his Article 2 powers, which were, we understand the constitutional authority that the President of the United States has. I don't know why he wanted to fuel that story in the way that he did. It was not helpful. Jay Sekulow, however, was helpful in clarifying, one, the Washington Post story was untrue, according to Sekulow.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, that they're not discussing pardons because that's the point, right? If you're discussing pardons, that assumes that there's some underlying criminal activity, something that needs to be pardoned. And Sekulow said there isn't. And of course, after more than a year of pursuing this inquiry, an investigation, criminal investigation, the Democrats have yet to produce a shred of evidence. So that's something you would think that the president would want to rinse and repeat and have his comms team rinse and repeat rather than going down this track of reminding people of the power to pardon that the president has.
But there were some mixed messages. I mean, here's just Sekulow compared to Scaramucci on the question of pardons.
The president has the authority to pardon. But I want to be clear on this, George. We have not and continue to not have conversations with the president of the United States regarding pardons. Pardons have not been discussed, and pardons are not on the table.
I'm in the Oval Office with the president last week. We're talking about that. He says he brought that up. He says, but he doesn't have to be pardoned. There's nobody around him that has to be pardoned. He was just making the statement about the power of pardon.
But then why would he tweet about it? That's again, I mean, people rip on President Trump for playing a lot of golf, but when he's playing golf, he's not on his smartphone. So I suggest that he plays more golf and gets off the tour. I mean, he was having a tweet storm. He tweeted 10 times on Saturday and then didn't stop on Sunday.
His tweet about this was not suggesting that pardons were under review or that pardon was something that they were going to potentially use for in any particular context. However, just him raising the specter of it
It feeds the hungry Democrats.
Well, it just goes back to what Krauthammer has said about this. No one has provided any evidence of a there, and yet President Trump acts like there's a there everywhere. And it's unhelpful. It advances this story that I would think they would want to discard because it's not helpful for accruing political capital, and thus it's not helpful for passing a legislative agenda. So it's just all very curious to me. Now, that's and so, there you did have Scaramucci and Sekulow on the same page. And that's where the legal and comms team need to be. That's where presidential surrogates need to be. And we also got clarity over the weekend from Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who's the new White House press secretary, replacing Spicer. She'll be the face person doing the White House briefings on the issue of this Russian sanctions bill that Congress is trying to box the president in on. Well, I guess they were successful to the extent that it was really necessary because Sanders indicated that he is going to sign the bill that is coming to his desk.
Look, the administration is supportive of being tough on Russia, particularly in putting these sanctions in place. The original piece of legislation was poorly written, but we were able to work with the House and Senate, and the administration is happy with the ability to do that and make those changes that were necessary, and we support where the legislation is now, and we'll continue working with the House and Senate to put those tough sanctions in place on Russia until the situation in Ukraine is fully resolved, and it certainly isn't right now.
So it doesn't seem like that's going to be an area for Democrats to prosecute in terms of Trump being soft on Russia or flacking for his quote-unquote friend Putin because he's going to sign this bill that Congress is leveling up to him.
Now, do you think it was prudent for them to get rid of Sean Spicer and hire Anthony Scaramucci?
Only so that you could do your cartoonish derogatory.
I held back.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
I held back. But I mean, he
Scaramucci.
seems like a slick Wall Street guy who's, for me, is just going to be a yes man to President Trump. That's how I feel.
Well, we have no idea. I mean, your feeling is interesting. We have no idea what the actual dynamic between the two men is or how it will play out. I will say two things. One, I don't like people who bundled money for Obama and donated to Hillary Clinton, which Scaramucci did in 2008, more of the kind of politically promiscuous, foundation-free players in the political arena, the kind of financial political arena, that combine, if you will, to borrow a Cassism. And I don't like the number of people from big banks like Goldman Sachs in government all the time because they tend to be rent seekers. They tend to be rather immoral. They tend to be more like John Corzine than what Scaramucci is reputed to be, which is, a free market capitalist who's committed to the economic liberty policy agenda and wants to translate Trump's forays down that road into it. But, and we'll see where, Scaramucci's got a flack for the president's agenda. And so one of the things he's going to have to promote, which I suspect may run counter to his personal beliefs, is, for example, the whole buy American, hire American, protectionist instincts of Trump. And there's a rally tomorrow in Youngstown, Rally in the Valley in Youngstown, where Trump is going to continue on this buy American, hire American tour.
But in his defense, Scaramucci, I mean, he used to be a Democrat, but in 2012, he supported Mitt Romney. And in 2016, he supported President Trump. So
what defense is that? What's the defense?
I'm just saying he used to be a Democrat and donate to Democratic candidates, and now he's changed teams.
That's my problem. He wasn't 11 in 2008. He was in his 40s. And if
some people switch parties later on in life.
I understand. The question is why. This is the same question with Donald Trump. Tell me your road to Damascus conversion story. I still haven't heard it.
No, that's true.
And it's the same thing with Scaramucci or anybody else. Tell me why you converted. Give me the backstory, the logic behind the decision you made. Don't just tell me you made a decision. I was here, now I'm here. Okay, well, that could be all about political expediency. It couldn't be anything that's based in principle or a pivot in philosophy. Sean in Elmwood Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
First of all, I think this was a depressing week. Huckabee's daughter, for God's sakes, I mean, she has the physique, just not the personality to work at a Cracker Barrel. How's your meal? I mean, get the hell out of here with these people. And Scaramucci, just did a whole thing on cap and trade. He loves the global warming scam of Al Gore and that other buffoon from Virginia, the governor. What's his name, Prof?
Terry McAuliffe.
Yeah, him. He's all in with these guys. A money bundler for Obama, Goldman Sachs, Lehman Brothers. It's the same thing. But
Lehman
now
Brothers
he's
is
a tough
gone.
guy. It's like Gurkha. What's the difference between him and the guy from Nixon, except a Nautilus machine? Come on, it's all the same.
Hey, Sean, are you related to Scaramucci? Second cousins, third cousins?
10 minutes at my family.
She thinks all Italians are related. Amy thinks all Italians are related.
No, but
They're
you
all
guys,
cousins.
they too look alike. I'm not kidding you.
No,
Sean,
they're not
Sean
quite
and
because
Anthony.
Scaramucci doesn't have a hole in his haircut like Sean does.
Oh.
Thanks for the call, Sean.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. On AM 560. The Answer.
It's no secret buying a new vehicle can be a huge stressor. Trying to decide between what you like, what best fits your budget, and choosing the right dealership can create downright anxiety. Well, take a breath because Joe Cotton Ford has you covered. Buying your next vehicle from Joe Cotton Ford is a different experience. They promise no hassles, no drama, no high-pressure sales tactics, period. What's the Joe Cotton Ford difference? Well, they're a local business that cares about building a relationship with you, your family, and the community. They're not just another car dealer looking to churn and burn the next customer who walks in the door. Just ask Tracy Kahn, Vice President, General Manager, and Carol Stream, Citizen of the Year. He sets the high standards for the Joe Cotton Ford team, which volunteers hundreds of hours of community service every year. Get to Joe Cotton Ford today and drive home your new Ford car, truck, or SUV. You'll receive white glove service in a relaxed setting. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream or at joecottonford.com. That's joecottonford.com.
Be in demand with a Master of Legal Studies degree from faith-based Trinity Law School in Southern California. Their fully accredited online Master of Legal Studies degree is for those who don't want to become a lawyer, but realize that knowledge of the law is in high demand. An MLS will give you an in-depth understanding of legal documents, proceedings, and rights, all taught from the Christian worldview Trinity is known for. For more information, visit tls.edu/radio. That's tls.edu/radio. Trinity Law School. Be in demand.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content on our digital platform that complements what we do on this show for people like our listeners who have the attention span greater than a circus monkey for something other than bread and circuses. That distinguishes us from like Eric and Kathy, for example, or just about everybody else in Chicago media. Long-form interviews like this week's with Dan Patlack, Cook County Board of Review Commissioner, to talk about property taxes. That's our Against the Current series. Podcast, Illinois Rising, covering state policy and politics. That's our Sunday program, 3 p.m. Sundays, but we podcast at upstream-ideas.com as well as 2-minute warnings from Pat Hughes and Illinois Opportunity Project. My 60 seconds of sanity commentaries this week on the NEA, the country's largest teachers union, and our new series, Heart of the Matter, new episode this week, Heart of the Matter, which is professional women discussing the salient issues of the day, colleague to colleague. It's all at upstream-ideas.com.
What if you could enjoy total peace of mind when it comes to home security? What if the best technology came from a local company who puts the customer's needs first? Alarm Detection Systems is the right choice for an alarm system with complete control from your phone or tablet. Know when your children arrive home from school. View live streaming video. Check up on your pets. Receive alerts for extreme temperatures. Know if leaks or floods have been detected. Get real-time text alerts sent to your phone. Family-owned and operated since 1968, Alarm Detection Systems understands that nothing is more important than the safety of your family. Your security system will be monitored by our central station in Aurora, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Alarm Detection Systems is an authorized Honeywell equipment dealer. Our on-site security consultation is always free. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6322. That's 630-844-6322. Alarm license number 127000143.
Today, we're talking about your budget and budget blinds.
People get so hung up on that word budget.
Listen, everybody's got a budget. Budget blinds is all about getting the window coverings you really want at a price that fits your budget.
Right. They have exclusive designer styles, hundreds of choices.
And Budget Blinds gives you expert service. None of that do-it-yourself. The pros bring the showroom to you, then do it all. Measure and install.
What a relief.
That's style and service for every budget.
And right now, during their 25th anniversary celebration, it's the biggest sale of the year with special upgrades and offers.
Explain the free free upgrades like the invisible tilt for shutters.
Make shutters look cleaner, more contemporary. Same with the free cordless upgrade on Honeycomb shades. No cords. Looks sleek and uncluttered.
I like that. Just call this number. It's easy to remember. 855-BUDGET BLINDS.
855, then the name, Budget Blinds, or go online.
BudgetBlinds.com.
Remember, budget means getting custom window coverings at a price that fits your budget. And remember, 855-BUDGET BLINDS.
Offer good on selected products at participating independently owned and operated franchises only. Some restrictions may apply. Ask for details.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
For 5 years, I was with this other company, and I tried everything, and it was costing me a fortune. And on top of that, it wasn't working. And I said, ever since I've taken this product, I have kissed that goodbye. Matter of fact, I said, this has been the first winter that I have gone through without a flu or nothing.
Last year I started on the Balance of Nature. I'm telling you, it really built me up, and it really helped me.
My cholesterol went down. Only after taking it 1 month, I went down 20 points.
I feel better already with it. I just feel it's made my life more predictable, more useful.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
All that extra weight is messing with your health, your sleep, your social life, even your love life. Time to take control. I'm Dr. Frank Marticello, and that's exactly what I did. I always worked out, worked hard, and no matter what I did, I couldn't lose that weight. I then saw a picture of myself, and that's what did it. I had to search for a solution. I found the ideal method. I lost 80 pounds, opened Total Life Weight Loss, and that was 9 years ago, and I've kept it off. Listen to this.
I hated being on meds needed only because I was overweight. I was tired of being tired and wearing black all the time. So I turned to Total Life Weight Loss. It was truly a life changer. Total Life Weight Loss gave me support and strategies to get rid of the weight and maintain my new current weight. I love the way I look and feel.
This is a medically developed protocol that helps you lose weight fast, get healthy, and keep it off for life. Call Total Life Weight Loss now at 708-695-5999 to book your free metabolic assessment or attend one of our free educational workshops. Again, that's 708-695-5999.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
An underreported aspect of the school funding gambit being supported by Democrats and maybe some Republicans is state mandates on teacher hiring and compensation and many other aspects of how your local school districts operate. We'll discuss that with State Senator Jason Barackman, Republican from Champaign, at 7:37.
And later, what would you do to help the kiddies for your job? We'll explain. But first, into the newsroom we go. And welcome back. Who's been on vacation for a while? Here's Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, good morning. Thank you. 67 degrees, cloudy skies in our Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. Nissan of St. Charles, home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. President Trump's senior advisor and son-in-law Jared Kushner says he had no further contacts with Russian officials or their intermediaries beyond what's already been made public. Kushner releasing that statement moments ago as he gets set to testify privately before the Senate Intelligence Committee today. The work of identifying those killed in a human smuggling operation continues today in Texas. 9 lost their lives after being held in a sweltering trailer over the weekend. Pakistan has condemned a horrific Taliban suicide car bombing in Kabul that has killed 24. Severe thunderstorms brought heavy rain, hail, and strong winds to already rain-soaked northern Illinois and exacerbated flooding in some spots. Early this morning, the already swollen Fox River began to rise again. Flooding started earlier this month, prompting state disaster declarations. 2 Chicago men accused of shooting a local police officer last week on the south side are due in bond court today. Donzel Grant and Cortez Harrington face multiple charges, including attempted first-degree murder. Time running out for Illinois senators to avoid another special session. Governor Rauner announcing that if the Senate doesn't send him a repackaged school funding plan by noon today, he'll call them back into special session. And Chicagoans get to celebrate in August to mark the creation of a sport created right here at home, roller derby. World Roller Derby Week is August 13 through 19. marks the 82nd anniversary of the first roller derby here in Chicago at the formerly massive Chicago Coliseum in 1935. Cubs put down the Cardinals 5-3. Royals sweep out the White Sox with a 5-4 win. Jordan Spieth holding the Claret Jug as winner of the 146th Open Championship. The news, a service of Napa Auto Parts with quality parts and more than 90 years of experience. Napa Auto Parts can help you keep just about anything on the road longer and stronger. So stop by your local Napa store. Keep it running with Napa know-how. 7:33 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, great coffee, period.
Building owners, are you experiencing problems with your flat roof? Do you know where you're at in the life cycle of your roof? Install, repair, renew, or replace. One of the largest investments you will make to protect your building and its contents is the roof system on your building. So trust that investment to a proven industry leader. Trust it to Waukegan Roofing. Waukegan Roofing is a commercial and industrial low-slope roofing contractor installing roofs you can rely on since 1914. We install, service, and maintain all types of commercial and industrial low-slope roof systems for the Chicago area. We've installed millions of square feet of quality roofing systems, protecting buildings and their valuable contents for more than 100 years. So wherever you are in the life cycle of your roof, Waukegan Roofing is prepared to help you manage each stage with professional service and technical expertise. Call us today to schedule an appointment at 877-ROOF-201. That's 877-ROOF-201. Or visit us online at waukeganroofing.com. Waukegan Roofing, installing roofs you can rely on since 1914.
Illinois licensee 104000761.
Finding great candidates to hire can be, well, like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter is different. It doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them. With its powerful technology, ZipRecruiter distributes your job everywhere it needs to be to find the right candidates. In fact, over 80% of jobs on ZipRecruiter get a qualified candidate in just one day. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, only ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
Used by businesses of all sizes, ZipRecruiter offers the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work for your free trial. ZipRecruiter.com/work.
7:35. Let's check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. On the inbound Kennedy, delays start at Nagel. It's 33 minutes O'Hare to downtown, 17 from Montrose, 14 in the Express, outbound 43 minutes to the airport. Eden's 20 minutes Lake Cook to the junction, outbound 23. Mount Eisenhower, 40 minutes Thorndale to downtown, outbound 42. Inbound Stevenson runs an hour from 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 45 minutes. Don Ryan, 25 minutes from 95th to the Loop, northbound Tri-State. Delays are from 95th to the Mylong Bridge, Plainfield Road to the Hinsdale Oasis, then from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Eastbound Adams Tollway, heavy Beverly to Bartlett Road, Veterans Memorial, Butterfield to Roosevelt, the Army Trail toll to 290. Any flood-related closures remain in Des Plaines, River Grove, River Forest, and other suburbs. Traffic is a service of Staples. With free next-day delivery from Staples, you can run your business like a pro. Go to staples.com for the office essentials you need delivered next day free on eligible items only and orders over $49.99 placed by 5 p.m. Excludes weekends and holidays. Staples, it's pro time. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Partly sunny, not as warm, lower humidities today, 77. A comfortable 61 overnight. Pleasant day ahead tomorrow, high 82. Currently 67. Your next news update is at 8. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Power Trading Radio. Heard Sundays at 2 p.m. Brought to you each week by Online Trading Academy.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues now. And make sure to stay tuned to catch me, Mike Gallagher, coming up at 9, only on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and we're on the cusp of another special session in Illinois, this time over school funding. The last one, of course, a catastrophe with massive tax increase, no spend reform. That was just 2 weeks ago. Now, Chicago Democrats want to effectively do the same thing, but under the guise of school funding. And also mandating how many teachers are hired, what their compensation is, all kinds of mandates in this 500-page. Yeah, that's right, 500-page.
Oh, did you read it all?
I've read a lot of the pertinent parts. 500-page legislation called Senate Bill 1, which the governor has signaled he wants to mandatorily veto. We talked to the governor last week, and essentially the difference between his position and the Chicago Democrats' position is a bailout of CPS. But are these distinctions without significant differences? For more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined by State Senator Jason Barickman. He's a Republican from Champaign. Jason, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hey, Dan. Thanks for having me.
So the governor is essentially, ostensibly, going to cut and paste the language in your proposal into Senate Bill 1 for his mandatory veto. Could you compare and contrast what you propose versus what Senate Bill 1, the Chicago Democrats' proposal, aims to do?
Sure. Compare and contrast two 500-page bills, all in about 30 seconds, right?
We're going to give you 20.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. The fundamental difference here is, there's an agreement on how to distribute money through a school funding formula. The difference being that the Chicago Democrats included a poison pill, really, at the tail end of the negotiations. The poison pill incorporates to school funding the notion that the state will pay for Chicago's normal pension costs, Chicago's health care costs, even Chicago's unfunded pension liabilities are included in their formula. And so what we know is those unfunded liabilities grow, that in effect you're going to have dollars being taken away from school districts to contribute to the financial mess of Chicago's pension system. So, in essence, that's the difference of the two. Now, we have long suggested that we also need to incorporate some mandate relief, the idea that we allow school districts more flexibility in how they spend the dollars that they have. But in essence, the crux of the difference is those two issues: how the Chicago pension system is treated. Some are characterizing this as a bailout of Chicago public schools through school funding, the model that the Democrats have proposed. So we remove that, and we also try to give school districts some mandate relief for flexibility in how they spend their money.
Well, then how are we going to cover the cash shortfalls?
Well, what do you mean, Amy, the cash shortfalls?
Well, I mean,
the budgetary issues?
Yeah, the budgetary issues. Is this money's not going to appear from the sky?
Well, no. I mean, we just went through a budget fight where many of us, stood up and certainly communicated the fact that this is another example of the Democrats ramming through an unbalanced budget. They accompanied that unbalanced budget with a tax increase, in that 11th hour. But the reality is this discussion is school funding, and whatever the budget that might be agreed to, the Democrat budget, we of course had our own GOP budget that the governor supported. It needs a formula to distribute the money to schools. And that's been a long argument that we've had for some 3 or 4 years, that the funding formula is unfair, that we're not getting money to the districts who need it the most. And so that's what we're trying to fix here.
Yeah, but Jason, are you not conceding this kind of evidence-based funding pablum that that's being advanced in Senate Bill 1, where it has all kinds of mandates from the state on local school districts, as I said at the outset, staffing levels, class size, teacher compensation, per pupil spend. According to the law, schools will now spend $40 per student on gifted programs, $190 per student on instructional materials, $25 per student on testing, $285.50 on computer technology and equipment. That sounds like a lot of micromanagement from the state on school districts.
This is actually one of the misnomers on an evidence-based model. The evidence model does not mandate on any school district how to spend their money. That was a big selling point to me. Now, there's been some mischaracterizations. The suggestions that you've just kind of rattled off are not, in fact, true with how the model works. The model it's kind of like the Stephen Covey notion of you look at what you want the classroom to look like and you create a funding model that's based on that data, classroom size, staffing levels, et cetera, but you do not, in fact, mandate on a school district that they have to follow those guidelines. So the distribution of state monies is based on data and research. It's the same approach that we took to criminal justice reforms. Instead of basing decisions on political rhetoric and emotional, ideas, instead we distribute money based on data and best practices, but there's no mandates on schools. If schools, once they get their money, and some Republicans don't like this, but once school districts receive their money from the state, the evidence-based model says everything after that is a local decision driven by school boards and the discretion that they have there. And in fact, as Republicans, we've tried to give more local control to school districts so that they have even more flexibility in how they make those choices.
So just to be clear, failure to follow the rules or the best practices under the evidence-based model is not going to result in a district being denied state funding, which is, as I understand, proposed to no longer be allocated per pupil, but rather in exchange for meeting state spending suggestions.
Yeah, no, not at all. There's no mandate, Stan. There's no triggers. There's no negatives if a school district doesn't follow these best practices. Now, we do provide some transparency measures that allow local taxpayers the idea that they can see how money is spent. We also try to empower local taxpayers so that if local taxpayers don't like the way in which dollars are being spent or how much money is being spent, we actually give local taxpayers, the Republican proposal here gives local taxpayers the tools that are necessary for them to get active locally and hopefully bring down their property taxes and bring down their spending to a level that's supported, again, at a local level.
Well, how are you disseminating that information? How are you letting taxpayers know how their tax dollars are being spent?
So by giving, you go back to the evidence-based model hearing, which says, here are the best practices in how dollars are being spent. What we know is that there's many districts, high-tax districts, who are spending money above and beyond what best practices suggest. So what we do is we give that information to voters. Here's what you're spending locally. Here's what best practices are. And then we give voters tools so that they can very easily, through referendum, lower their property taxes if they think they're in a district that's spending more money than they should. Now, that's a decision, that's a debate that I think should be happening locally. I think there will be districts as a result of that who may support spending levels in their area. There's other districts that may decide that they're spending too much money on schools. My point is empower and give to local voters the tools to make these choices and ultimately reduce their property taxes if that's their choice.
I want to talk about the hold harmless provision that's much ballyhooed by the Democrats. We've got to this pot of money. Nobody loses. We've got a new formula that by definition is redistributive, which by definition is some people get more and some people get less. That's what redistribution is. And yet, but there's a hold harmless provision, so nobody will ever lose. Everybody will get at least what they got last year. Well, that's all well and good in the short term, but in the medium term, that depends on a politician's promise to keep coming up with the necessary money to hold harmless schools that would otherwise lose under the redistribution, because that's why they need to be held harmless. So the scam that Democrats are running with this hold harmless provision, pretending that this isn't a play to rob the suburbs, to bail out Chicago, number one, and to buy political support downstate, number two?
Yeah, so I'm with you, Dan. This is a total political decision put forward by Democrats here. You know, think of this. We're in a state, we know we're losing population. We've all talked about that. What accompanies a loss in population is a loss in enrollment. And in fact, if you look at our school districts around the state, school districts in all kinds of areas, whether they be in Chicago and some of the most affluent areas in the suburbs and downstate, are seeing losses in students, losses in enrollment. When the parents leave the state, so do their kids. And so the Democrats, through this hold harmless provision, have said, we're just going to leave aside all of that data, and instead we're going to promise to school district chunks of state money with a promise that you'll never receive less. That doesn't make sense when you consider, you know, what happens in 5 or 10 years to a school district who may have lost 25% of its enrollment. Well, the state of Illinois, through this hold harmless provision, is saying we're going to disregard that data, and we're going to continue to give that school district just as much money in 5 years as we did today, just because we made a political decision to hold them harmless. So it's a horrible policy. It's totally driven by politics, and it actually disregards what the school districts have said. School districts have said, look, if you have to have a hold harmless to get something done politically, which this is, it's a political tool, if you have to have a hold harmless, the school districts have said, do it on a per pupil basis, so that as we gain or lose enrollment, there's an adjustment to that hold harmless. But in fact, the Democrats in their proposal totally disregard what the schools have said and totally disregard the good policy that comes with.
Of course, because Chicago's hemorrhaging student population, so of course they're opposed to it.
And Chicago's the biggest loss of student enrollment in the state. But it's not to say that we don't have some of those losses elsewhere, too. You know, some of our, I believe it's Naperville and some of our other suburban communities, has seen significant loss in students. But yes, I think you're right, Dan. The Democrat proposal here is designed to address the losses of Chicago.
All right, so what's going to happen? What's happening today and this week?
So the governor has, you know, this is another one of those unnecessary crises created by the Democrats. So they passed their legislation for school funding reform. It was passed basically on a partisan vote at the end of May. They inserted these poison pills that pick up the Chicago pensions and fix some of those Chicago issues. But even though that happened almost 2 months ago, that the Democrats passed this proposal, this legislation, they've yet to actually transmit the bill to the governor. Now, they haven't done that because the governor said he's going to mandatorily veto some of these poison pills. The Democrats obviously don't want that to happen. And even more so, what they don't want to have happen is after the governor would mandatorily veto the bill comes back to the legislature for action. And we would have an opportunity to then act on the amendments that the governor's proposed. Again, removing some of those special deals for Chicago. Suburban Democrats and downstate Democrats do not want to have to vote on a school funding bill that doesn't include the special provisions for Chicago. So instead of putting themselves in that situation, people like John Cullerton and Mike Madigan have conspired here to say, let's not even send the bill to the governor. Let's just talk about what we want to do in legislation. Let's fail to give the bill to the governor so that he can take the constitutional action that he's allowed as governor. And they're creating this unnecessary crisis, this theater around whether or not schools are going to open this fall. So we're in the middle of that. The governor has said today if they don't send him the bill by noon today, he's going to send legislators back to do a special session, and he's going to do that until we send him a school funding bill, specifically here, Senate Bill 1, so he can mandatorily veto it. Once he takes that action, I think the legislature has an opportunity to pass good bipartisan education funding reform and make sure our schools open this fall.
And part of that, the discussion that's still ongoing, that's part of this ongoing discussion, is about tax credits tax credits for that would allow people to voluntarily fund scholarships for low-income children to have the same choice that so many politicians in Illinois have to send their kids to better schools. And I wonder if this is a must-have for you and for Senate Republicans.
So I think this is a great opportunity for us as a state to embrace a program that will give parents and school children around their state some opportunities for an education that some of them don't have. So, yes, I think what you've seen, Dan, is Republicans and Democrats are supporting this scholarship program. It's a program that, again, I think gives some children that may not be in a high-quality public school system an opportunity for other choices. We've been we as Republicans have advanced this idea, but I've been glad to see that some of our Democrat colleagues have come aboard and said, we'll support that as well. I think this is an area where we can take a comprehensive approach to school funding and providing school choice opportunities to our students around the state. So, yes, I'm hopeful that this can be part of a final bipartisan solution that comes together here in a short time.
All right, he is State Senator Jason Barackman, Republican from Champaign. Jason, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Amy.
Thank you. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper, hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Safety. It's so important at your industrial facility. You need to keep your personnel safe and meet OSHA requirements. One problem with your ladders, platforms, or safety guards, and you could be facing costly fines. Vans Industrial helps you meet OSHA standards to keep your employees safe.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. As a business owner, I realize the importance of keeping my employees safe, and I'm here to offer my expertise. Vans Industrial is a specialty contractor uniquely equipped to design, fabricate, and install safety equipment, including walkways, handrails, stairways, and machinery guards. Our Vans Industrial team can inspect existing systems, engineer solutions, fabricate quality goods, and install them with trained pros, all making a safer environment for your employees.
Call 219-931-4881 today for a free inspection of your facility. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS industrial.com. Quality craftsmanship since 1964.
Oh, have you seen the store shelves? They're already putting out the back-to-school supplies. Now, the school year may seem like a million years from now, but it's actually just around the corner. And maybe this summer you've been rethinking sending your kids to public school. Things are changing in our public schools, as we were just discussing, and not always for the better. So now might be the time to consider sending your child to a private school, and you could do it for half the price off the regular tuition, thanks to our good friends at halfpriceschools.com, where you can find tuition vouchers for private schools across the Chicagoland area, including Mount Prospect, South Holland, Chicago, Kankakee, just to name a few. Click on the tuition voucher. Send your kid to school this fall at half off the tuition price. There is no catch. That's why it's called halfpriceschools.com. So go head on over to halfpriceschools.com now, because these tuition vouchers always sell out. Do it today. Don't put it off any longer. That's halfpriceschools.com.
Are you behind in your mortgage, facing foreclosure, being given the runaround on a loan modification application by some bank or servicer? Well, you're not alone, but I may be able to help you. My name is Lou Bridges. I'm with the law firm of Lou Bridges & Associates. We've put together a team to help distressed homeowners like you. Give us a call. We give everyone who's eligible a free consultation. I guarantee you it will not be a sales pitch. We will give you our honest analysis, counsel, recommendations, and advice regarding your options.
We are experts in doing loan modifications successfully. We know the regs. We understand the process. Most importantly, we don't take no for an answer. We fight. We are prepared, and we win. We save houses. We make houses affordable. So if you want to keep your house affordable, contact us.
Go to bridgeslaw.net or call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231.
Remember, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, and I guarantee you'll never be alone.
Yes, indeed, summertime. Another hot one. Wait, gonna be a little bit cooler today. Back to hot, gonna be windy. Maybe a thunderstorm mixed in for good measure. Up and down and up and down. The climate is always changing. Your company's heating and cooling system really gets a workout in Chicagoland. Be ready for anything this summer. Call Air Comfort and get your business's cooling system tuned up and running at peak performance. You see, the Air Comfort problem solvers can find small problems before they become big problems. Plus, proper maintenance will keep your system from wasting energy and money. Air Comfort will make sure your equipment is clean and obstacle-free. And if your chiller is about to or has stopped working, they can install temporary solutions to keep you cool while the long-term fixes are put in place. The key to keep your climate from changing is preventative maintenance, and Air Comfort can help. Schedule a comprehensive assessment of your mechanical system today. Call 708-345-1900 or visit aircomfort.com. Air Comfort, providing the right climate for business since 1935.
If you're over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days, I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. A free book to help you maximize your retirement income from television host and three-time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we are about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-725-1616 now and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Melberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you a copy of The #1 Mistakes Retirees Are Making with Their Investments Today and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-725-1616. That's 800-725-1616. Employees of J.D. Melberg Financial have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer.
A good parking lot is essential to a good building and a good business.
This is Kevin Berquist. My company is SKC Construction, home of GreatParkingLots.com. Great parking lots. The name says it all. We make your parking lot great. We are an industry leader in seal coating. You can trust our company to do the work for your company. We have the same traditional values as you. We use a process and application that makes sure you get a great job that lasts a long time. I guarantee you'll have a good experience. Go to our website, GreatParkingLots.com. Check it out, GreatParkingLots.com.
Go to GreatParkingLots.com. Schedule a free inspection and get a quote to make your parking lot a great parking lot. Save the expense. Fix, don't replace. Contact SKC Construction now for commercial parking lot seal coating and maintenance. SKC Construction, home of GreatParkingLots.com. GreatParkingLots.com.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
He says he did not collude, nor does he know of anyone else who did. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump's advisor and son-in-law Jared Kushner also says he had no improper contacts with Russians before or after the election. He's about to meet now with the Senate Intelligence Committee in private. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, an 11-page statement. Kushner described his contacts with Russian officials as few and unmemorable. He said he did not collude with any foreign government to help get his father elected, and that to his knowledge, no one else in the campaign did either. Kushner also shared his recollections of the June 2016 meeting with a Russian lawyer, saying it was a waste of time and that he actually emailed a staffer to call him so he could politely excuse himself. Donald Trump Jr. and former Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort expected to meet privately this week with the Senate Judiciary Committee. Dave?
Rachel, President Trump just tweeted a few minutes ago, why aren't investigators looking into crooked Hillary's crimes and Russian relations? Earlier, he tweeted that Chuck Schumer said Democrats should blame ourselves, not Russia, referring to the Senate Minority Leader telling ABC.
We were too cautious. We were too namby-pamby.
Democrats will unveil a new slogan today. A better deal, better jobs, better wages, better future. The driver of that sweltering truck found packed with illegal immigrants outside a San Antonio Walmart over the weekend goes to court today to face charges.
Several minors are among the 9 people who died from heat-related issues inside this tractor trailer in San Antonio, Texas. 17 people rescued from the trailer are considered to be in life-threatening condition.
Fox's Kelly Wright. A 10-year-old boy is dead in St. Louis, shot in the head last night at a public public housing complex in one of the city's most dangerous neighborhoods. Police are trying to sort out if it was accidental or if the boy was intentionally shot. An off-duty New Orleans police officer working a paid security job was shot in the leg early this morning by someone who fired a shot into his car, but he was not badly hurt. Police are seeking juvenile suspects. Fox News, fair and balanced.
69 degrees, clouds and sunshine at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. In the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom, Nissan of St. Charles, home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. Severe thunderstorms brought heavy rain, hail, and strong winds to the northern section of the state and caused the already rain-swollen Fox River to rise again after it had previously started receding. Flooding concerns over the weekend had the city of St. Charles closing the Illinois Street Bridge and the Indiana Street pedestrian bridge due to the rising Fox. 2 Chicago men accused of shooting a local police officer last week on the south side are due in bond court today. Donzel Grant and Cortez Harrington face multiple charges, including attempted first-degree murder. Authorities are searching for a man wanted in now 4 bank robberies this year in Chicago and the suburbs. The FBI says the most recent incident happened Saturday when the suspect held up a Fifth Third Bank in Rosemont. A DuPage County official, the newest state senator in Illinois, County Board Vice Chair John Curran, has been appointed to replace Christine Radonio, a Lamont Republican who resigned from the Senate July 1st. Chicago sports, Wilson Contreras and Kyle Schwarber both homered. Cubs beat the Cardinals 5-3 to close a 3-game set at Wrigley Field. Royals sweep out the White Sox with a 5-4 walk-off win. Cubs and Sox open up a 4-game home-and-home series today at Wrigley. The news, a service of NTB. Get your 5-quart conventional oil change today, just $19.99, plus $3 disposal fee for tires, oil service, and repairs. National Tire and Battery, that's all you need. 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat from the Fox Business Network and a service of Turnkey.pro. Here's Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, WebMD is being sold to private equity firm KKR. MarketWatch says the deal's being valued at approximately $2.8 billion. WebMD put itself for sale earlier this year. WebMD also operates Medscape.com for physicians. Hibbett, the sporting goods chain, is predicting its sales for the current quarter will decline about 10%. Hibbett Sports is citing very challenging sales trends. Toy maker Hasbro is reporting a mixed quarter. Its earnings were better than expected, but the money it makes from entertainment and licensing declined. Business was better than expected in the recent quarter for Halliburton, the oil services company, and power tool maker Stanley Black & Decker is raising its forecast for the year after its quarter was stronger than expected. The Dow closed down 31 on Friday. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
8:05 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Home isn't just a place, it's a feeling that you're safe to enjoy the things that matter most. ADT lets you take that feeling with you, whether you're at home, your business, or online. We help keep you safe with security systems, home automation, alarms, and surveillance, so you can feel at home wherever you are. Go to ADT.com to get that feeling for less than $1 a day. ADT. Home. Safe home.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. Think you can't manage the down payment it takes to purchase a new home? Think again. You could move into a $150,000 home with as little as $1,500 down with our 1% down payment option. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.99%, APR 4.19%. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
You are about to hear from Dr. Douglas Howard.
After 20 years and tens of thousands of success stories, Balance of Nature is still the only pure whole food supplement available. Balance of Nature has served more than 500 million servings of fruits and vegetables. Don't accept imitations, copies, or substitutions. Our success stories are unique to Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. You'll know you have the real thing when you open the bottles and see, smell, and taste real produce.
It is worth every penny I pay because they really have made such a difference in my life. It is making me feel a whole lot better.
Even my doctor thought it was a good product.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you for free. Call now for details.
Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago.
8:07. Let's check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. On the southbound side of 53, we've got traffic at a standstill from Higgins to Thorndale. There's a car fire there on the right shoulder. Eden's inbound 19 minutes. Lake Hook to the junction, outbound 24. The Kennedy 33 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 43. Inbound Eisenhower 42 minutes. Thorndale to the post office, but outbound 49. Inbound Stevenson, an hour 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound it's 50 minutes. The Ryan 25 minutes. 95th to downtown. 390 eastbound heavy because of that problem on 53. That's the Elgin O'Hare with the Blaze Roselle all the way to 290. Northbound Tri-State's the Ogden to 31st. And from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue, Veterans Memorial area heavy. From Boughton to the Reagan Tollway, Butterfield to Roosevelt. From the Army Trail Toll to 290. Any flood-related closures remain in Des Plaines and other north and northwest suburbs. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Here's our meteorologist, Brian May.
Partly sunny and not as warm today with lower humidity, high 76. Partly cloudy tonight, low 63. Sunshine and low humidity tomorrow, high 80. Wednesday, pleasant, some sun, high 83. I'm Brian May on AM 560. The Answer.
68 degrees at O'Hare. Cloudy skies. Next news 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560. The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So, Senate Minority Leader, oh boy.
Hello. Good Monday morning.
Senate Minority Leader Pagliacci was on with Clinton Foundation Zero yesterday talking about the Democrats' economic agenda and health insurance / care agenda, and against the backdrop of a British court ruling that Charlie Gard belongs to the state. Chuck Schumer had this to say.
I think that the Trump care will not pass. It just is rotten.
You think it's dead?
I think it's very unlikely to pass because it's rotten to the core. People are not for reducing taxes on rich people or getting rid of Medicaid, which is a very, very middle class now thing, as well as for poor people. So the first things we're going to propose, if the Republicans hopefully will join us once they abandon this rotten bill, is some cost sharing, which the insurance companies say will help bring down premiums and stabilize the market. Something else that Republicans have often supported, which is reinsurance, proposed by Tom Carper and Tim Kaine. And Claire McCaskill's proposed something in the Bexar counties, B-A-R-E. If you can't get insurance in those counties, you can get the same kind of health insurance we get. Then we're going to look at broader things. Single payer is one of them.
So that is on the table?
Medicare.
Oh,
Sure, many things are on the table. Medicare for people above 55 is on the table. A buy-in to Medicare is on the table. Buy-in to Medicaid is on the table.
Everybody on government health care. So you buy, back door, front door, all the doors. He talked about Medicaid now being also for middle-income families.
Right.
He
it's not
says
just
class.
for the poor. Yeah.
Right. Because it's an entitlement to create dependency. That's the play. It's always been the play. And single payer, formal single payer is on the table. Okay?
Well, they're pushing Medicaid. I mean, I get voicemails all the time from CPS saying, come, and it's a person who's speaking broken English because my kids are Hispanic, so they think all Hispanics are poor. that, come to this school Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 3, sign up for Medicaid. It's here for you. I mean, they're pushing it. It's a product that they're pushing.
It's the Obamacare Medicaid expansion. Moving from 1 in 5 Illinoisans on Medicaid prior to tracking to 1 in 3 Illinoisans in a state of 13 million people. Added 75 million new people to Medicaid rolls. This is a guy that left's play with, of course, a lot of help from big government Republicans to give you this health coverage, create dependency, create political loyalty, and you'll find out that all of the jokes about single payer aren't particularly funny when you're on it. And that's why you see in countries that have it, 2 markets. That's why we've talked about these cases before ad nauseum. The joke about P.J. O'Rourke's joke about the Canadian healthcare system. The good news about that gallbladder surgery, it's free. The bad news is you're not going to get it. Medicaid.
Wait 4 years.
Medicaid, the health insurance provider of last resort, the worst
it's the worst.
quality access to health care. And by the way, particularly in states like Illinois that can't finance their Medicaid program, so they don't pay providers. So
so nobody wants to see them.
So good providers stop taking Medicaid patients.
Right.
So that's what happens. And so those people who were intended to be served by the Medicaid program actually see their access to quality care worsen. But as long as it's well intended, then the outcomes don't matter. I understand the philosophy. So there it is. So just so we can, dispense with any of the guesswork, there's Chuck Schumer saying what's on the table for Democrats as they see an opening with Republicans cannibalizing each other over Obamacare repeal and replace. We'll see what the Senate votes up this week. But speaking of the Charlie Gard case, there's been a couple of Republican reps, actually, Wenstrup and Trent Franks, and now it was over the weekend, last week, Representative Jamie Herrera Butler, who's a Republican from Washington, introduced an amendment to the Homeland Security spending bill for Charlie Gard. Here's her explaining her friendly amendment.
Mr. Chairman, I rise in support of this in really a critical moment in our deliberations, and an opportunity for us to stand with a family who are right now fighting for their son's life. And the reason I'm moving this amendment is because I strongly believe, having faced circumstances, similar circumstances, that parents have the most at stake when it comes to standing up for their children. There are amazing doctors. There are amazing systems, there are amazing programs, and even governments that care about young people. But the people that most, I believe, know or are going to err on the right side of the best interest of their child is the parent.
Is she right? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636-DA, turnkey.pro text line. That amendment to grant U.S. residency for Charlie Gard was passed by a committee. Herrera Butler's own daughter, she referenced the experience, was born without kidneys.
Oh, my goodness.
But survived with the help of experimental treatment. Her baby had a 100% fatality rate, and doctors thought the child would die. But they were wrong. So is it
similar to the Charlie Gard case?
Is it possible that the British government could be wrong? Is that possible, or are they infallible like the politicians in Illinois and Chicago and the United States at the federal level? They're the vanguard class. They're the infallibles, right? They know all. They're omniscient, and they're certainly omnipresent. What about that? Is Herrera Butler right, or is the state better positioned to make these decisions and to ration care?
No, because we gave birth, we gave life to our children. We have a right to say what happens to our children, not the government. And I don't. Do you see this ever happening here in the United States?
Yep.
Really?
What do you mean, really?
No, that the government's going to decide what doctors can come in and care for your child. The government can decide whether your kid can die at home or it has to die in the hospital.
Yes.
If your child has a right to live anymore.
It's incredible to me that how thoughtless people are, how they completely I don't know if it's mentally blocked or it's just so whimsical or they feel entitled or some combination of all the above. The complete lack of consideration for the implications. You're going to cede power over life and death decisions to the state, but of course it's always going to be for the best, because these are superhumans in state government, in federal government. There's the superhumans that have the secret knowledge, to borrow a David Mammonism, sarcastically, of course, which is how his book was written, that have the secret knowledge, that always make the right decision in every case, and they're better positioned to know your life, to know your child's life, than you are. Of course. No, this would never happen here. Well, why wouldn't it happen here? How are our government commissars, in so many respects, any different than the UK? The only thing that we have that the British don't is the United States Constitution. But how many politicians abide that? In either party. It can't happen here. It's happening here. Of course it's happening here. But this is Plato's Republic. Your kid, how many times do we have to talk about your kids not being your own in the K through 12 school system? What do you think Medicare and Medicaid does? It's government rationing. So when we scaled the whole thing and cede control of it to the government, no, we would never have a federal court judge make this decision. Proponents of euthanasia, death with dignity laws in California and Oregon, but it can't happen here? It is happening here. It will happen here. The state will decide who lives and who dies and when. Zeke Emanuel, one of the Obamacare architects, 75 and out. Nobody should want to live past 75. I sure don't. Now, of course, I'm not.
When he turns 75, I'm going to send him a birthday card.
Yeah, well.
Like, oh, sorry, it's your death card. You said you should die now.
Right, so that's their insight, and they are those who seek control of the machinery of the state to impose their will on people and to control all aspects of an individual's life. But no, that's just his personal opinion. He would never actually follow through on that. This is just my personal opinion. I would never force that on anybody else. I would never inculcate that into the law or into the superstructure of the healthcare system. Oh, no, of course not, because everybody has the best of intentions. And outcomes don't matter. I get it. Best of intentions. No one in government has bad intentions. No. Of course not. It's only people that are being lorded over that have bad instincts. Man is corrupt except when he's elevated to public office. Then he becomes an angel. Right? Isn't that the philosophy?
Well, with this legislation to vote to make Charlie Gard a U.S. resident, then we could get him here quicker. That's a possibility.
Well, it's to signal that, we're welcoming him here for treatment, but that has not been persuasive to British courts, which ruled that he will not be released to his parents on Friday, and then they're hearing more evidence today and tomorrow, apparently. And there's some protesters outside of the Great Ormond Street Hospital where Charlie Gard is imprisoned, and I use that term purposely because that's what it is. Your child is not yours. Charlie Gard's parents, that's not their son. That's the state's son. Charlie Gard's parents are custodians of their son as long as the state says it's okay. That's where we're going. That's where Chuck Schumer wants to take us. Everybody hop on board.
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line.
Jeannie in Lakeview, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Oh, we lost Jeannie. Okay. Joe on the Northwest Side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, guys. Isn't it important where the money is coming from to pay for this? In other words, like if someone were to come to me and ask me for $500 to help them buy a car, then I have a choice to say, no, I don't have $500 for you to buy a car. Work for yourself. And isn't that what's happening here? I mean, these people are coming from Europe, and they're asking to give our money to help them.
No, they're not.
You know what I mean? It's
no,
you know what I mean?
Joe, hold on a second.
Yeah.
They raised $1.5 million privately to fund the experimental treatment that for their son. In addition to that, you've had doctors, including this, what's his name, Morano, who's an expert with respect to this experimental treatment for the DNA depletion syndrome that Charlie Gard has, volunteer his services. So this is not taxpayer money.
Okay, but I've heard of other situations where they've come from other countries and we've paid for it, you know?
Yeah, that's called people here illegally. We do it every day.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Thanks for the call,
Thank
Joe.
you.
Appreciate it.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Yeah, tweet from Manny Nieves. It already happened with Terry Schiavo. Yeah, good point.
No. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Reviewing Dunkirk and Ozark.
Oh, wow. Didn't I have that for dinner last night?
Yeah, you got a little Ozark on your Dunkirk?
Yeah, that was terrific. I highly recommend it. Partly sunny right now. Mostly clouds, but we will have peaks of sunshine throughout the day. A lot lower humidity than we've had the past couple of days. A high of 77 degrees for your Crosstown Classic, which starts at Wrigley Field at 1:20 this afternoon. And then tomorrow, partly sunny, even warmer, low humidity, but yet a high of 82 degrees. Sounds good. Anything great on the roadways? Here's Jim Telemonte with the answer.
Well, Amy and Dan, let's hope things dry out with the lower humidity. We still have flood closures and displays of Central Road and Gulf Road at River Road. Closures of Chicago Avenue and River Forest between Thatcher and First Avenue, and River Grove of River Road between First and Belmont, and Grand Avenue between Thatcher and 25th. There are others, including Rawson Bridge, still closed in Port Barrington. Edens, 19 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose. Outbound, it's 24. The Kennedy. Play start at Irving Park, 42 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, quicker than the Express. Outbound, 41 minutes. Von Eisenhower, 42 minutes. Thorndale to the Loop. 28 from Manheim. Outbound an hour to Thorndale. Got a problem on southbound 53. A car fire at Thorndale on the right shoulder. Southbound 53 delays. Start around Gulf Road. There's a northbound Gapers delay as well. On the inbound Stevenson, it's 45 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 42. Ryan is 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. On the Tri-States northbound, the delays are from Archer to the Hinsdale Oasis, Ogden to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Text from 708. I've been reading articles on Upstream Ideas. Excellent. You should promote it more. Okay, I'll do that right now. Upstream-ideas.com is our digital platform that provides premium content that enhances what we do each morning on this show. Long-form interviews this week with Dan Patlak, Cook County Board of Review Commissioner on property taxes in Cook County and generally the state, as well as Heart of the Matter. That's a new series where we have professional women speaking colleague to colleague about the salient issues of the day. Podcast for Illinois Rising program covering state policy and politics. My 60 Seconds of Sanity commentaries this week on the NEA, the nation's largest teachers union. 2-minute warnings from Pat Hughes at Illinois Opportunity Project. It's all at upstream-ideas.com.
Americans have the right and advantage of being armed, unlike the citizens of other countries whose governments are afraid to trust the people with arms. James Madison, Federalist Papers. Our founders recognized that the common individual needs to be trusted, but with trust, there must be common sense and personal responsibility. This is especially true of handguns. If you've been thinking of making a purchase, visit the Range at 355. The Range at 355 is so much more than a state-of-the-art shooting range. It is a fully stocked showroom carrying a variety of firearms with brands like Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, HKs, and Glock. The Range at 355 offers Illinois concealed carry license training and a full curriculum of classes designed to teach you what you need to know to be a responsible gun owner and concealed carrier. Their professional team will train you like a pro. Founded by patriots like you, providing professional guidance and courteous instruction. Trust your skills to the pros at the Range at 355. For range hours and class info, visit range355.com. Range355.com.
My name is David Hochberg, Vice President Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're purchasing a home, give me a call. A borrower called me after contacting the lender who boasts about having the lowest rates and closing costs because he thought my competitors' closing costs were excessively high. I compared loan estimates and the interest rates were identical, but our definitions of low closing costs were a lot different. Fact is, my closing costs were over $1,000 less than the lender claiming to have the lowest closing costs. When purchasing a home, you can either work with the lender who talks and talks and talks and talks about low closing costs, or you can work with me, a lender who actually has low closing costs. Then think of all the things you could do with an extra $1,000 when we originate your loan, like pay for the movers, buy a new computer, new TV, maybe new carpet for your new house. I've helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but I can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
What's the scariest thing about going to the dentist? Opening your mouth or opening your wallet? Because just a simple cleaning can cost $100, and things like root canals can cost you hundreds more. If you don't have dental insurance to help, you should give Physicians Mutual Insurance Company a call. 1-800-300-8038. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps pay for checkups right away, so you can call today and get your teeth cleaned tomorrow. Plus, it helps cover the more expensive procedures you might need down the road. Fillings, crowns, bridges, even costly dentures. There's no deductible and no annual maximum. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired or on Medicare. There are no networks, so you can choose any dentist you'd like. That's right, any dentist you want. Call and we'll rush you a free information kit with all the details. 1-800-300-8038. That's 1-800-300-8038. 1-800-300-8038.
If your roof is needy, if your roof is leaky,
call Grumweedy.
If your roof isn't right after it's storming and shingles are curly,
call Grumweedy.
If your roof is looking needy, call Crumweedy. This is Mark Olson of Crumweedy.
And I'm Greg Olson from Crumweedy. We are a third-generation family-run business. We've been doing Chicagoland roofs since 1953.
You really can't do that unless you do really amazing roofs. We share the same conservative values as you, and we really want to do your roof. Here's what you can expect.
First, no high pressure. You make the choice. Whatever option you choose, count on getting a roof that lasts at a fair price.
You see, application is really the key. We follow the manufacturer's specifications so your warranty is intact. You know, a lot of companies don't do that, and that could really void your warranty.
No horror stories here. The roof you need that will fix your problems. When your roof is needy,
call Grumweedy.
For your needy roof, go to myroofisneedy.com. myroofisneedy.com.
Hello, this is financial advisor Dale Bradley speaking to you from the Bradley Investment Center in Evanston. Have you ever made an investment through one of those large national brokerage firms? Have you ever felt like just a number? Well, at Bradley Investment Center, our goal is not to be the largest practice, it's simply to be the best by establishing and keeping true personal relationships. Visit us at bradleyinvestmentcenter.com. That's bradleyinvestmentcenter.com. Or better yet, stop by and say hello. We are at the corner of Central and Central Park in beautiful Northwest Evanston. We strive to be the center of all your family's investment needs. For more information, call the Bradley Investment Center at 855-940-8700. That's 855-940-8700.
Bradley Investment Center. Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc. Bradley Investment Center is not a registered broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services.
Message and data rates may apply.
Attention! It is illegal to text and drive. So if you're experiencing hair loss and you want a permanent solution, please pull over now, because an incredible offer that could give you your hair back is just one text away. Bosley is the world's most experienced hair restoration expert, always pioneering the latest technology. And now, we're giving everyone who texts the word GROW to 543-543 an absolutely free information kit that reveals just how easy and affordable this permanent solution really is. Don't wait. When you text GROW to 543-543, we'll also give you a gift certificate for $250 off. Millions of men and women have come to Bosley for a permanent solution to hair loss. So pull over now and see for yourself how great your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit. Text GROW to 543-543. Plus, get a free gift certificate. This amazing offer is just one text away. GROW to 543-543.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Like I said, Dunkirk and Ozark.
Oh, okay, like you said. And later, why Sean Spicer really resigned. It's spectacular. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, good morning. Good morning, everyone. 69 degrees, cloudy skies. The Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. Nissan of St. Charles is home with a lifetime advantage warranty. And on Capitol Hill this morning, President Trump's son-in-law and senior White House advisor Jared Kushner is saying he had no contacts with Russian officials or their intermediaries, beyond what has already been made public. Kushner is scheduled to testify privately before the Senate Intelligence Committee today. A Florida man is under arrest connected with the deadly human smuggling incident in Texas. At least 9 died over the weekend after they were kept in the sweltering trailer of an 18-wheeler in San Antonio. 60-year-old James Matthew Bradley Jr. is due in court today. A California man is facing charges that he tried to help ISIS. The 22-year-old from Oakland was charged last week with attempting to provide material support to the terror group. He's accused of trying to open social media accounts to promote ISIS and for planning a possible terror attack. Severe thunderstorms that brought heavy rain, hail, and strong winds to the northern section of the state have exacerbated recent flooding. Storms moving through Sunday afternoon caused the already rain-swollen Fox River to rise again. 2 Chicago men accused of shooting a local police officer last week on the South Side are due in bond court today. Donzel Grant and Cortez Harrington face multiple charges, including attempted first-degree murder. Time is running out for Illinois senators to avoid another special session. Governor Rauner on Friday announcing that if the Senate doesn't send him a plan for school funding by noon today, he'll call them back into special session. The governor wants to change that plan and give lawmakers time to react before school begins. Cubs over the Cardinals 5-3. Royals sweep out the White Sox with a 5-4 win. Cubs and Sox open up a 4-game home-and-home series today at Wrigley. The news, a service of LifeLock. It's morning. Here's an eye-opener for you. LifeLock can see more threats to your identity than you can see if you're just monitoring your credit. And if something happens, a U.S.-based specialist can work to fix it. Go to LifeLock.com, promo code RISK, save 10%. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Count on the Democrats.
I'm being told that Donald Trump Jr. took a meeting with a Russian lawyer in which no law was broken. At least the Democrats aren't overreacting. What's this? Senator Tim Kaine?
This is moving into perjury, false statements, and even into potentially treason.
Yep, you can count on the Dems.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Home isn't just a place, it's the feeling of knowing you're safe. ADT lets you take that feeling with you. Learn more at ADT.com.
I have actually been on Balance of Nature for a year now. I have MS, and I recently had an MRI. This is the first year that I've had a stable MRI, so I'm thrilled. When I have an MRI with MS, usually there are glowing spots that come through, which is damage on the nerves in my brain and my spinal cord, and when they're glowing, it means they're active. And then my last MRI, they pulled it up, and I honestly couldn't believe that it was my MRI. There was nothing glowing. And in fact, the dark spots were shrinking. They were healing. And the doctor actually said to me, I think we're in remission. I was so happy. I had no idea that that could be my reality.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
8:35. Let's check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte. We'll get back to Jim in just a moment. First for you, a check of your weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Partly sunny, not as warm in Brian May's forecast with lower humidities today, highs 77. Partly cloudy and 61 overnight, partly sunny and pleasant. Beautiful day shaping up tomorrow, high 82 and a low of 65 tomorrow night. Currently, we have 67 at O'Hare, 68 along Chicago's lakefront, 69 at Midway. Your next news update comes your way at 9 with continuous news coverage at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio.
online at iHeartRadio.com.
Joe Walsh here. You know what? Sean Spicer wasn't the problem, and Anthony Scaramucci is not the solution. This is on Trump, man. Trump needs his A game. We'll talk about that when Freedom returns at 5.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And Amy, I don't know if you had time while you were in Port-au-Prince to go to the Cineplex to see Dunkirk.
Yeah, I don't even know if they have a movie theater there.
Did the AMC there? You didn't have a chance to go to the AMC Port-au-Prince?
They only have electricity 4 to 6 hours a day, so I doubt there's a movie theater, but I'll look next time I go.
So Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk, $51 million at the box office this weekend, so living up to the advanced billing in terms of people's interest, the way he tells the story. But there's been some criticism of the way he tells the story of Dunkirk. Dorothy Rabinowitz, we talked about briefly on Friday, had a review suggesting that Nolan's pay on to a universalist message where he doesn't clearly identify the Germans as the enemy and the British as the the good guys in the story, if you will, the British and Canadians, the French that needed to be rescued from Dunkirk in May of 40, that the lack of historical context is a real disservice to the story of Dunkirk. If anybody's seen it, give us a call. If anybody went this weekend to see it, give us a call, 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line, and weigh in.
Did you see the movie?
I have not seen it yet, but some of the reviews suggest that it's just like action sequences. It's a little bit like Saving Private Ryan. They just start with you kind of in the position of one of the members of the British Army at Dunkirk, and it goes from there. And again, the lack of clear identification of the Axis powers and the Germans and the British, number one. Number two, Rabinowitz makes this point, no mention of Churchill in the story, which certainly
he played a part.
Pretty instrumental role. And so just the lack of telling the story from a historical perspective, Nolan's desire to tell it from a kind of a human struggle, universalist perspective, well, that turns out to be a problem. And it called to mind a biblical story, because I don't know how many people have read much about Dunkirk, but the British Army's distress call to back home,
mm-hmm.
to send help. You know what it was? It was 3 words.
What?
But if not. But if not. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. I'll give somebody a gold star and my everlasting respect if they know what "but if not" was in reference to, and why it is so telling about the time and how far we have come from the time. The people going to see Dunkirk, maybe even Christopher Nolan, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Do they know about that distress call and its importance? Mike in LaGrange, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, Dan. Hi, Amy. I saw Dunkirk on Saturday, and I was really looking forward to seeing the movie. I'm a World War II buff.
Mm-hmm.
And the disappointing part about the whole movie was that the story is really about all the civilians that took their boats.
Yes, that's part of it.
Rescued,
yeah.
The soldiers. Mm-hmm. And this movie really wasn't about that. It was more about some shell-shocked soldier that had a hard time, and the normal war movie where you see soldiers and being shot at and whatnot. That's not the story of Dunkirk. And if you know anything about Dunkirk, they reenact it every year. They have a flotilla with actual boats from the rescue, and it's such a big thing amongst the civilian corps.
And now, Mike, some of the reviews I've read suggest that there's it's all action sequences. Most of the characters have no name. It's the German soldiers appear on screen only in the few minutes, and never is a swastika seen. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. In fact, I don't recall. Well, in the very beginning, there may be a German or two that you see. They're running from the mainland to the beach. getting out of town, if you will. But after that, first 5 minutes of the movie, then it's just bullets, and then every once in a while you'll see a fighter pilot scene, which they spent more time on planes. You know, the British pilots shooting down German pilots than they did on the story, which is really about the civilian corps that took their boats, made the decision to leave their family and go rescue soldiers. And the real story is the World War I vets that went through World War I realized that their boys are over there and they need to bring them home.
Yeah.
And you see older guys and that's the story of the one individual that took his boat out to go rescue. He said, I don't have a choice. We need to do this.
Thanks. Is it?
It's the movie.
Isn't yeah? That was recounted. Wasn't that recounted? What's the movie I'm thinking of? Was that recounted in Mrs. Miniver, the civilians? Was that the movie I'm thinking of? Mrs. Miniver. I think it is, but I'll have to go back and check. I think I'm right.
What's it called, Miss Saviner?
Mrs. Miniver. But Mike, do you know about the distress call? But if not,
yeah.
What does it mean?
That you need to go and rescue them.
No.
I'm not clear on you.
No,
you didn't win the prize.
Do you know? But I mean, this distress call was over an open channel, so they had to send back something that they didn't think the Germans would detect. So why did they choose? But if not, what does it mean? What's it in reference to?
I'm not sure.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thanks for the call, Mike.
I don't know what it means either. What does it mean?
I'm going to give the answer. Give somebody a chance. I'll give you a hint. See if we have a biblical scholar out there. Owen in Willowbrook, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hello, Dan and Amy. I did see the movie. I would have liked to see them show a little bit more of the French holding off the Germans in Dunkirk. As you said, I mean...
the French surrendered in 6 weeks.
Right, no, but at least they held them off a little bit to help them escape.
Yeah.
And then, secondly, they showed more in the movie, in computer-generated movies, in that stupid movie about the sequel to 300, where they had thousands and thousands of boats coming in the ocean, where in Dunkirk, I think they showed about 7 private boats coming in. It was stupid.
Right. Yeah, and you're talking about 340,000 men that were rescued, right? Thanks for the call, Owen.
And they skipped that in the movie?
Well, I don't think they skipped the kind of scope of the rescue. I think he's just talking about the private action that was a part of the rescue by British citizens.
And you're right about Miss Miniver.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And now you're on it today, man.
Yeah.
Nothing gets past you, Dan.
Stuck the landing. James in Westmont, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hello, Amy. Good to hear you again.
Thanks, James. Hello.
No problem. It is a biblical quote from Daniel.
Yes.
The book of Daniel. But if not worship the false gods, basically, is what it's saying. We will worship, the ones made of gold or whatever. So I don't remember it off the top of my head, but I know it's a biblical quote from Daniel.
You got it right, James. Thanks for the call.
Bing.
But
what does James get?
So he gets a gold star and my everlasting respect.
All right.
I mean, you can't put a price on that.
Exactly.
What, you want a T-shirt? You have my everlasting respect. So it is from Daniel, and this is really telling. But if not, it's the story of 3 Hebrew youth, Shadrach, Meshach, and I can't remember the third. But anyway, they would not bow before King Nebuchadnezzar in Babylon.
Mm-hmm.
And he threatened to throw them into the fiery furnace if they didn't. And they said, God will deliver us from the fiery furnace. But if not, we shall, as James said, we shall not worship false gods. We shall not worship idols. But if not.
But if not. And that is what they sent as their distress call. But if not, so that the Germans wouldn't figure out what they were doing.
But Germany was part of Christendom, too.
Oh.
So what they understood, I mean, obviously, given the regime, that they would not be, well-versed in this reference. Also, though, think about this. Today, I mean, they had enough confidence in their countryman because of the common culture and education and belief in God that they would know the reference. How many people in Britain would pick up that reference today? How many people in America?
In America
How many
would pick
people in
it
the
up.
American government, in the British government, would understand that reference today? So basically, but if not, we need rescuing, or if not, we're going to perish on the beach.
And if you don't believe that I thought you were right, let's go to Teresa in Highland Park. Huh?
Hey, Therese.
Hello, it was Walter Pidgey.
Yes, Walter Pigeon. Yes.
In Greer Garson, and I just watched it with my husband not long ago. It is a fabulous movie.
It's fantastic. And you know the Mrs. Miniver, the Rose competition. Did you see Downton Abbey where they basically ripped that Rose competition from Mrs. Miniver and with Maggie Smith?
Oh yes,
Name weekend, what a weekend! Yes.
But it was so good because Walter Pigeon, he just takes the boat and he's like, I have to do this, and she never knows if he's coming back.
Yeah, that's a great. If you haven't seen, it's Mrs. Miniver or Mrs. Miniver's Rose. What's the name of the movie again?
It's Miss Miniver.
It's just Mrs. Miniver.
Yeah.
That is a great. Greer Garson is fantastic too. See that if you, I don't know. I mean, I guess we're on Dunkirk, so that's a tangent, but it's a relevant one. So go spend your weekend seeing Mrs. Miniver too before you see Dunkirk. Thanks for the call, Therese. Appreciate it. A related story. A new Netflix series that I started watching over the weekend.
Here we
in
go.
lieu of seeing Dunkirk. Jason Bateman in Ozark, which takes place in part in Chicago. It starts in Chicago.
What's the premise?
I don't want to give too much away, but it's a financial services guy who's laundering money and needs to leave Chicago for Lake of the Ozarks, and that's what he does with his family. Laura Linney plays his wife.
Oh,
She's a very
nice.
good actress.
Okay.
Here's the review on Vox.com. The first episode of Ozark, by the way, is unbelievably good. It is really, really good. And now I'm about 8 episodes in for the first season, which is 10 episodes.
And you watched all that last night.
I watched it in the last 48 hours.
You binge watched. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And so it's drags in parts a little bit, but you gotta let some of these stories breathe. Bateman is
He's such
I
a
like
great
him.
actor.
He's really good, and there's a really good ensemble cast actually. But here's the review in Vox.com, which is a leftist outlet. Ozark is yet another white guy anti-hero show. Its secret power is how boring it is. Here's what this guy's Todd.
Todd blah blah.
Here's what he writes. Ozark is a white savior narrative along the lines of Dances with Wolves or Last Samurai. In the white savior narrative, a character of European descent arrives in a non-white community and then helps them realize how to move forward in life while also learning lessons from them. There are good white savior stories and bad ones, but all of them have to guard against constantly tumbling over into stereotypes. It's all of this, like, first of all, I don't know how this is saving white people, or saving non-white people. This is going from Chicago to Lake of the Ozarks. By the way, there's not a lot of minorities in this storyline, at least not so far that I've seen, except for one of the FBI agents. But this is just like so. There's no appreciation from the left anymore for the for intellectual pursuits on college campuses, for academic freedom, or for the arts. Everything has to be force-fed through this prism of identity politics. It is anti-art as it is anti-intellectual. So don't let stupid reviews from myopic reviewers of good shows like Ozark. I mean, it is for adults, by the way. But don't let this inform your understanding of a series like Ozark, which I think is rather intriguing. And as I said, the first episode in particular. But I'm just so tired of this too. Everything in theater, not everything, but so much of it, and I go to a lot of shows, is nihilistic pablum. And these reviews, it's all identity politics this and identity politics that. White guy anti-hero show. Like the European descent of Jason Bateman is relevant at all to the story. It's not.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, the real reason Sean Spicer left the White House. It's fantastic. But today, your forecast for your Crosstown Classic, low humidity, a high of 77 degrees with sunny to partly sunny skies, I should say. Then tomorrow it's going to be sunny, pleasant, low humidity again, but a little bit warmer, a high of 82 degrees. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Kennedy inbound delays start at Irving Park, 41 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 31 from Montrose, 32 in the Express. Outbound 32 from downtown to the airport. Edens, 19 minutes. Lake Cook to the Junction. Outbound 24. The Eisenhower is 38 minutes. Thorndale to downtown. Outbound 23 minutes to Manheim, 54 to Thorndale. Southbound 53 is bottled up with a car fire. Just cleared at Thorndale, but the northbound delays are heavy. Starting on northbound 355 at North Avenue and along much of the 290 extension on the westbound side. Inbound Stevenson 45 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 42. Inbound Ryan 23 minutes, 95th to downtown. Southbound Lakeshore Drive a bit heavy, Irving Park to North Avenue and 18th to the Stevenson. Tri-State southbound slow 60 to 22 with a crash blocking the shoulders. Northbound heavy from the Stevenson to 31st and from the Reagan till way to North Avenue. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, I know you've been bombarded with MyPillow ads everywhere you turn, not only from me, but on TV, billboards, and in print. And the reason is simple. It's the best pillow available. I love MyPillow so much that I brought my Go Anywhere pillow with me to Haiti, washed it and dried it late last night. But it's perfect if you travel because you can sleep with it on the plane, of course, but also when you get to a hotel. Mike Lindell taught me this. You can put your Go Anywhere MyPillow on top of the hotel pillow, and voila, you'll get an excellent night's sleep. They're made here in America. 10-year warranty, 60-day money-back guarantee. And for the month of July, you can still get the best deal available. That's the MyPillow 4-pack, 2 premium pillows and 2 Go Anywhere pillows, you know, the ones you can bring with you on a plane, for half the price. You can move the fill to give you the exact support you need regardless of sleep position, and you will sleep deeper and won't wake up to a stiff neck or headache. So here's what you do. Go to MyPillow.com, type Amy, A-M-Y, in that promo code, or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
It's absolutely amazing that the combination of these capsules improves your health. It does tell you the value of food and nutrition.
I actually can feel a difference. I really can.
I love the product. It's wonderful. I can't live without it.
It's really helping me. Every time I take it, my body says, thank you.
This is the first winter that I went through that I didn't get a cold.
I love my fruits and veggies. I'm a line dancer, and I just turned 78, and it has made a big difference in my stamina and just my overall well-being, and I have so enjoyed them. I just love taking them and what they do for me.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Finding great candidates to hire can be, well, like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter is different. It doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them. With its powerful technology, ZipRecruiter distributes your job everywhere it needs to be to find the right candidates. In fact, over 80% of jobs on ZipRecruiter get a qualified candidate in just one day. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, only ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
Used by businesses of all sizes, ZipRecruiter offers the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work for your free trial. ZipRecruiter.com/work.
Acme Home Insurance.
Yes, I'd like to make a claim.
What are you wanting to claim, sir?
My air conditioner broke down.
Sorry, but your home insurance doesn't cover air conditioner breakdowns.
So what do you cover?
Home damage from things like earthquakes, volcanoes, a zombie apocalypse.
A zombie apocalypse? But that'll never happen.
But if it did, you'd be covered, sir.
But not my air conditioner?
I'm afraid not.
But his air conditioner could have been covered with a home warranty from American Home Shield, plus major components of 20 other home systems and appliances, like his electrical system, plumbing, refrigerator, and more. For valuable free information, call 1-800-700-2119. Homeowners insurance can cover what might happen.
Zombies are coming!
But a home warranty helps cover what will happen.
Now the dryer won't work.
Be sure with the Shield. American Home Shield. For valuable free information, call 1-800-700-2119. That's 1-800-700-2119. 1-800-700-2119.
Today, we're talking about your budget and budget blinds.
People get so hung up on that word budget.
Listen, everybody's got a budget. Budget Blinds is all about getting the window coverings you really want at a price that fits your budget.
Right. They have exclusive designer styles, hundreds of choices.
And Budget Blinds gives you expert service. None of that do-it-yourself. The pros bring the showroom to you, then do it all. Measure and install.
What a relief.
That's style and service for every budget.
And right now, during their 25th anniversary celebration, it's the biggest sale of the year with special upgrades and offers.
Explain the free upgrades like the invisible tilt for shutters.
Make shutters look cleaner, more contemporary. Same with the free cordless upgrade on honeycomb shades. No cords. Looks sleek and uncluttered.
I like that. Just call this number. It's easy to remember. 855-BUDGET-BLINDS.
855, then the name, Budget Blinds, or go online.
BudgetBlinds.com.
Remember, budget means getting custom window coverings at a price that fits your budget. And remember, 855-BUDGET-BLINDS.
Offer good on selected products at participating independently owned and operated franchises only. Some restrictions may apply. Ask for details.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Dave Geiselhart, president and owner of Home Trust Mortgage and customer of Signature Bank. When the large banks turned away from the mortgage lending industry during the financial crisis, I turned to locally owned Signature Bank. Signature Bank stepped in and helped me expand our business at a time when the larger banks wouldn't. Today, I'm proud to say Home Trust Mortgage has been able to expand our business in Illinois and the Great Lakes region. We couldn't have done that without the help of Signature Bank. Signature Bank truly helps Chicago businesses like mine grow and thrive. That's why we also became personal customers and shareholders of Signature Bank, Chicago's business bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. Learn more about turning your business vision into reality. Visit signature-bank.com. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Okay, so Sean...
You can say goodbye to Spicy.
Can we? Oh,
Go
thank
ahead.
you. Well, Sean Spicer, according to NBC News, are you ready for this? Resigned because he wanted to spend more time with his family.
Of course.
Woo! My absolute favorite excuse. That's really not the reason why he resigned. It's because, you know, he didn't want the... He wasn't pleased that Scaramucci was coming in. Anthony Scaramucci.
There you go.
So this makes me sad because we can't see Melissa McCarthy portray Sean Spicer.
Here's how it's gonna go down. You've got your TSA agent right here, okay? And first you got Barbie coming in. Nice American girl back from a dream vacation. We know she's okay because she's blonde. So she gets in. Easy. We understand that. Perfect. Now who's up next? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, it's Moana.
Moana, and you know what happens to Moana. She gets sent to Gitmo, and they read her emails.
I can't wait to see Melissa McCarthy do Anthony Scaramucci. That should be interesting.
That'll be great. Thanks so much for making us part of your morning. We're back here tomorrow at 5 a.m. Now into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, McHenry County dealing with more Fox River flooding. Cubs beat the Cardinals. Royals sweep the Sox.